this thing down.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Saturday night edition of our live. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. And we'd like to welcome Mike from VentureCast. And
Howdy.
hope you're having a great weekend as well.
Yeah.
So,
It's just trying to stay cool. It's the weather's just, you go outside, it's like stepping into an oven.
yeah, it sure is. It's
You having any rain from that storm moving through?
We did get some, I guess about a week ago now. I mean, we got some pretty good storms there was like a week there where it was just, torrential downpours every day. But luckily we didn't really lose power like some people did.
Yeah.
well, that's cool.
I hear the electric company down that way is not that good.
Well, one we got. Well, I mean, like I said, I haven't been living here. I started living here in March, and I mean, it went out one time for like 10 minutes. So I can't complain too much because a lot of people down in Houston got hit pretty hard a month or two ago. They lost power for several days.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I talked to Jen yesterday, and she was saying that I guess they've gotten a lot of rain and stuff down in her area, but
Yeah.
she doesn't say anything about losing power or anything like that. Her washer's out. And that's a problem, but
That sucks.
they had to take care of that and got water everywhere. And the rain was blowing so hard it was blowing in under the door and kind of flooded the inside of the house a little bit. But
Yeah.
so it could be worse. Could have had no power and flooded too. So
True.
Okay. All right. Well, let's welcome in some of the people that have joined us. The Cruising on the High Seas. Welcome in. Controversial Cruising. Thank you for
Hello.
coming in.
Hello.
looks like the Bud Files.
Bud Files.
Hello.
Welcome in. Hello.
Howdy.
And,
Can't get used to your name change there.
I
Yeah.
saw it and I was about to say, hey, welcome in. I was like,
Oh yeah, welcome in, Mike.
Throws everybody off.
yeah. But yeah, it's been pretty warm here. And I mean, it's been pretty
95, 98 today. Oh no, I got off work 7:30 and walked outside. And I was like, man, this is beautiful. I wish I was out there. Could stay out in it.
Yeah.
I kind of hope it's like this next weekend on the cruise.
Yeah, Jen's talking about a second storm building behind Arthur or whatever the name of the tropical storm is they have. So she said the second one's always worse. Oh, it's down in Mexico right now, heading this way. So
Wow.
even though I'm at work for 12, 13 hours a day, I have not watched any news, so I don't know where it's at.
Yeah. I
Hello,
haven't seen
Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I hadn't really been paying attention to it, so I just, as far as what the weather's supposed to be like down there next weekend.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until I was talking to her, and she was talking about how bad it was. I was like, wait, what? There's bad weather? What? And my cousin's going with us, and he was asking about, I guess kind of what they would do, if the storm was too bad. And I was like, well, I thought, well, you were in the Navy, so what do they do? And they'll just kind of cruise around it, I guess, take us to areas that are safer than where it's at. Might be some rough seas. I don't know if his wife, she's only been on one cruise, so I don't know how she'll handle it, but I'm sure he'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Destination Fun. Thanks
Sherry,
for coming.
how's it going?
Hey there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I remember when I was on the Miracle, I was because I think you guys were on the Luminosa,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were kind of like in the Alaska area, kind of at the same time. I was seeing y'all on Facebook hitting certain ports. I think we were kind of like following each other or something like that. But
Yeah, I think you went to a port that we didn't go to.
Yeah, and Jubilee, Juneau, I think was like a day or two before us, so
Yeah.
we missed all that. Was that your first time in Alaska?
No, that was my second one, but but it was a better cruise because we hit way more ports. It was a 14-day cruise instead of a 7, and so you got a lot more time. But the weather was nice up there, I have to say. I mean, I was expecting it to be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we were kind of shocked going there. I mean, we expected it to be cold, but we left Japan, and it started getting really cold. And one of the days that we were at sea, it actually started snowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that Lido deck, I mean, it was actually the Lido deck dining area was so cold that it was almost unbearable, even though they had been shutting the doors and stuff to keep from the back,
right,
to keep the air from coming in. But it really didn't do a whole lot of good. It was still real chilly. If you went out on the deck where the pool was at, though, where I thought it would be colder, it was actually warmer than in the dining area.
Toasty in there. They closed that cover, and
yeah,
it was nice.
Yeah,
it was almost worth going out there instead of sitting in there with the buffets and stuff.
Yeah,
because it was literally warmer out there than it was inside.
Yeah, what was it? Skagway. Skagway was, I think, the coldest port that we hit, and so I took that train, the White Pass railroad up there, and there was like just piles and piles of snow when you got all the way up there. And then, of course, they had some kind of rock slide while we were up there, and rocks were covering the train tracks.
Oh, wow.
So, we had to sit there, and they had to bring a work crew out to clear the rocks out of the way so we could get back. So that was kind of interesting.
I hope it was a Carnival excursion, so if you were late.
Yeah, it was.
No stress. We saw that last time, but whatever it was we did, well, it wasn't Skagway we went to, but there was someplace, one of them, that there was a there was a train. We thought about doing it. We ended up doing something else that took us to a cemetery, and I don't remember what else we did now, but I mean, it was still nice, but I thought, next time we'll get the train, but we didn't see it offered this time. I mean, they didn't have hardly any excursions, and we ended up in, was it Skagway? We walked across the parking lot, and I mean, it was like, I told him, I said, you can definitely tell you're back in the States, because everywhere you went in Japan, all 5 ports,
clean.
It was clean. There was no graffiti. There was no trash. There's no trash cans, nothing. And then we stopped there. That was our first port. And so we walked across the big parking lot thing and across the street and got over, and there was a creek that ran underneath the little bridge. And you look over the edge, and there was like a plastic milk jug or water jug and 2 big old liquor bottles and some other trash. And I was just like, yeah, we're back. You can tell, because Japan, they took care of stuff, and if you finished your water, you stuck it in your pocket and carried it until you got back home. They did not have trash cans anywhere that we saw.
Wow.
That was pretty cool. And there was nothing on the floor anywhere, or on the floor, on the ground, nothing. I mean, it was very nice.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty clean over there.
Yeah, and the people are real nice too. I mean, we actually got put in a situation where we really didn't know how to get back to the ship. We had taken a taxi to a Harley Davidson shop to get my boss some shirts, and we got there. The taxi took off, and it was the taxi that we did get was out of all the ones they had there at the port for us. They had like a little couple of people that were telling the taxis where we needed to go. And so the first few taxis that they told where we needed to go, they were like, they didn't know where that was. And finally they found us one that did. And he took us there, dropped us off, and left. And after we bought the shirts and stuff and walked out, we just kind of looked at each other and we're like, "Oh, how are we going to get back?"
Was that the same port where he said? No, I think that was a different one. There was a little table that we stopped at outside, once we got off the ship, but we were still in the little port area. And he handed us a piece of paper and said, "When you get lost, give this to your driver." We're like, "Wait, what?"
No, that's the one
when we get lost.
That was the subway and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was just too funny. And then that one, another Harley Davidson run, pulled up on my little phone. And, "Oh, here it is. We can walk to that." Yeah. After about an hour and a half of walking in the sun, we found what was the like the administrative offices. It was not a dealership, so they didn't have any shirts, no coins, nothing. So then we took a taxi there and someplace else. I guess the good thing about that is the driver, he gave us some little, what was it, brown sugar candy, wrapped candy. And I thought, well, that was really good. He gave us both one. And I was like, I need to find some of that. It was like a hard candy with some kind of little filling in the center. It was pretty nice. I couldn't read what it was, but.
Yeah, some sort of, we looked it up. It's some sort of brown sugar candy, but I mean, it was really good.
Yeah, I posted some pictures finally, started putting some up, and it says, so I have a picture, and then I've have the exact same picture that I used to translate on and screenshotted it so I could tell what it was later. So I was just like, okay, this is going to look like an amateur hour here, but I mean, it worked. Well, here's Eddie and Alice. Welcome in.
Hey, thanks for coming in, Eddie.
Oh. I don't know if I missed somebody else. Yeah, Alice a little bit higher up there.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time reading all that. So you might want to take over.
You need your glasses?
Wow. I think it's too far away for the glasses, but it's too close.
Too close to use them, but too far away to actually be able to read it.
Yeah.
So how was because that was y'all's second time on the Luminosa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
was
sure was.
Better experience, same.
It was much better. They had fixed the majority of the leaks.
There was new ones, but they fixed the main ones.
Well, but even the new ones, they got fixed. I mean, there was
with a carpet and towels and
yeah. Because on the first one, on the Lido deck, I mean, there was leaks all over the place, or they had towels and stuff like that. On this one, they didn't have the leaks. I didn't see any towels or anything, but the floor was a little bit slick, but that was because of the humidity, which they can't do nothing about. I mean, that's totally different issue. But one night in the main dining room, we were sitting there, and where our table was like one or two tables down from us was the entrance to the galley or the kitchen or whatever it is that they use, and there was a ramp. Well, there's water just coming out of it.
Oh, wow. And
they had towels and carpets. I mean, there's a couple of, I want to say patrons, but that's not guests that were on the ship that slipped. A couple of them looked like they about fell.
Yeah.
And that went on for about 2 or 3 nights. And about one night, we thought they had it fixed, and then they had to started leaking again, and they started putting towels down.
Oh, wow.
But they finally got it fixed because it wasn't there the entire cruise. Like on the last one, I mean, the leaks were there the entire time. This one, it was like they figured out where it was coming from and got it fixed. It just took them a few days.
Yeah.
But the food was a little bit better. We actually ate in the dining room the majority of the nights.
Yeah, last time I had sandwiches almost every day.
And night.
I mean, as much as it was open. Their hamburgers still weren't that. I mean, they were definitely not, what's his face? It's Guy's Burgers, but.
I think it has to do, since it's since it left out of Australia, maybe it's the type of meat. They probably don't use all the preservatives and all that stuff that that we do here, and so the meat probably has a different texture to it and stuff. Which, I mean, that's something I'm sure you can get used to. I mean, if you grew up eating that stuff, it would be like coming over here and tasting ours and going, "Yeah, what's this stuff?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did have onion rings back there in the burger joint, so that was a nice change. They were actually pretty good. The fries were a little spicy to me, but it was good. And then just overall the food itself was good. And we met a nice little couple. They were Korean, and we were at a 4-top, but it was just the two of us at our table, and then they were at a little 2-top next to us. And so we got to talking to them and exchange phone numbers. I've texted back and forth a little bit with her. So it's kind of nice to, I mean, we kind of keep to ourselves, as you saw in the Jubilee. We don't socialize a whole lot. And 31 days, and I guess they were the only friends we made.
Yeah.
But we got off and we didn't have COVID, or we weren't sick with anything.
Yeah, neither one of us got sick the entire time we were on there.
Yeah, I got sick. Well, I started to get sick on the Miracle, and then I stopped by the little gift shop there, and they bought a bottle of Dayquil.
Yeah.
And pounded that, and felt like I was actually feeling pretty good after that. But then I was back home like a day or two, and I came down pretty hard. So I was pretty much bedridden for a few days there.
You kind of like, is it worth it? But yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to do a long one like that again for a while. It was way too many sea days. I mean, I enjoy the sea. I enjoy watching it, hearing it, watching the waves and watching the sea life. But oh my gosh, at least like with the Jubilee, there was so much more to do than, on the Luminosa. There was nothing. I mean, there was, I'll take that back. The two ladies speakers that we had, forget her name. Yeah, Emily was a naturalist, and then Jesse the biologist is her channel name, but they both had, so we had Jesse all the way through Japan, and then on the last stop on Otoro, she got off and Emily got on, and then Emily talked about all things Alaska and the animals,
just all the different wildlife,
yeah.
and mainly the whales and stuff like that, how to identify different ones and stuff like that. When they were most active, when's the best time to go whale watching, what whales you can expect to see, how you can identify some of them, how they identify some of them, and that if you can actually get a picture of the tail, and it's one they haven't identified yet, you get to name it, because they keep a record of all of them.
Yeah,
it's a fluke or something like that is what they call it. So we had one. I went on. I don't remember what he was doing. Is that when you did the airplane thing? I did kind of a trek through the Tongass National Forest, and then whale watching. And our boat captain, he ended up in Alaska. I don't remember where he said he was from, but he ended up in Alaska because he was in the Coast Guard. And he said, and they get here and they put me in a cubicle for 2 years. He said, I didn't come up here to be in a cubicle. So he retired. And then he was driving one of the, the excursion boats. And, we're going along, we're seeing different ones, and they, their tail would come up or whatever. And excuse the dog, she's fixing to go off here.
Yeah, every time. Never fails.
So we're sitting there about halfway through the tour, the whale watching aspect of it. And he jumps out of his seat and he's so happy. And he's, Sasha, welcome home, baby. So one of the whales, she's apparently pretty well known in the whale community, I guess. So I guess whales, they'll have is it a calf?
I think
So they
so.
call the babies?
Yeah.
So I guess every 3 years, well, she had one, 3 years later, she had one, 2 years later, she had one, 2 years later, she had one. Then it was like every year for like 3 years in a row or something like that. And they were saying that she was getting down in California because she'd go down there and then come back and have a calf, back in tow with a baby. But, when her tail flipped up, they were able to see, and it's in one of my pictures. And I don't know, probably 1,000 pictures that I took and I've uploaded different folders, but in there, so she has a lot of white on the tail and it looks like it's etched out AK for Alaska. And they're like, that's our very own Sasha, so they were all excited to see her. And it wasn't like, I mean, you can see people, they kind of pretend, to show for the entertainment purposes. But I mean, he was legit. He came up out of that chair and he was just so happy because he was like, where is she here yet? Is she back? Is she back? And then, and man, he was so happy to see her. That was probably the best. Well, one of the best parts. So I mean, I enjoyed that. I did it in Mexico, and then I thought, I'll go up there and do it too. It was cold. God, it was cold.
Yeah.
But I mean, I changed positions at my job, and so I really didn't plan well for this one. So I had a windbreaker with a hood on it, some gloves, and then like a toboggan, and that's all I had for Alaska. And he didn't have much more than that.
Yeah.
And when we were in, was it Mendenhall Glacier?
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was cold. It was so cold out there. But we were walking around in Seward. It was in the 50s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, Sitka and Juneau. It was almost like summertime up there. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hello. Welcome in.
Uh-oh. Can't hear you.
You've got him muted.
I do. How?
No, I muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I'm having trouble reading some of the stuff, so you gotta help me with it.
How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good, you?
Good. We're just talking Alaska.
Good.
Can't beat Alaska.
No.
No.
I did that. Initially, she had booked me on that plane, the tour of the glaciers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do it because of the price, but after doing it, I'm really glad I did it. I'm just extremely upset because I used my phone to take a bunch of videos, and I pretty much left it running. And every now and then I would stop it and start it over just so I wouldn't have a huge file to download. Well, for some reason, some of the pictures ended up being incompatible format. How that happens, I don't know.
Oh.
But it would download like half the videos.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 of the videos, and then the next 2 or 3 were incompatible format. And then the next 2 or 3 would be great, and then a couple more would be incompatible format. So I lost a lot of videos. And I don't know how that's happening since I'm using the same camera. And then it's on the gimbal, so I'm just pulling the trigger.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that one.
Then he did delete upon download or something like that, and so then they were gone too. So we couldn't try to reformat them or anything.
Yeah, I had. Well, mine was a user error. I downloaded all my clips to one folder, and somehow I was deleting some music. I add music to a lot of my videos when I'm editing, so I was deleting some music, and somehow I must have clicked on that folder. So I lost a lot of my Alaska stuff. And I did that helicopter ride to a glacier where you got off. Luckily, I had saved that part where like the helicopter ride, but all the clips that I used to make that, I wound up deleting and me drinking glacier water while I was up there. So I was depressed for a while because it was like a $550 excursion.
Yeah.
So yeah, might have to do it again.
I'm going back in April, and there's 2 that I want to do. I want to redo that one, and I want to do that Glacier Express that Scott went on, and where they got close to the glaciers on the boat. I would love to be down at the water level with the icebergs that they have little. Just in the memory bank, yeah. My memory bank it's short circuiting too, so that doesn't help me. I need to see the pictures of it now.
Well, the first time we went, somebody, there was a big group did that. I guess it's the Glacier Express. I don't remember.
Yeah.
We were in the Edward Fjords, and I didn't know that was a thing because we would have done it. But then this time, I didn't see anything like that offer. Like I said, the Mike, the excursions were just not. And even the people in the different ports in Alaska were fussing because we were there and they didn't have the staff. They didn't, a lot of the stores weren't open yet. And, and that they were upset about it. And even in Guam, I talked to the guy who owns owns the Harley shop there. And he said, yeah, they didn't tell us until like a week and a half ago that y'all were porting here. He said, I would have had some Harleys out there to rent so you could cruise the neighborhood and cruise the island and stuff. He goes, but they didn't tell us. And so then I thought, okay. And then I was talking to some other people, further down because I went to the mall because there was nothing to do in Guam. And so apparently some people knew. So if you ever go to Guam, you can hop on the bus, go to the mall, get off the bus, get on another bus, and they'll take you to a hotel where you can have beach.
Okay.
I was in jeans and a sweatshirt. I did not have anything for the beach, so I just walked around the mall. But I talked to a couple of different people in their different tables and stuff, and they were all saying, yeah, we had no idea that y'all were coming. They were just like, well, it showed in the excursions because there was nothing but, nothing to book.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything in Guam. There wasn't anything in... Forget now. There was someplace else we went. There wasn't a whole lot of choices in Tokyo. So,
well, there's a couple of things. I'm not going to Guam. I'm doing that excursion next year, April, and it's 29 days. But we don't go to Guam. I would like to have gone to Guam, but we go to Alaska and Japan. And right now, Alaska, I got those two: the helicopter ride and the Glacier Express. Those are two I want to do. And then in Tokyo, there is a go-kart that you can ride around the city. You dress up as different characters.
Yeah,
I want to do that.
Like Mario characters.
Well,
They used to do Mario, but they canceled it because I guess Mario, Nintendo, whoever has that, told them they have to stop with the Mario outfits. But it used to be you dress up like a Mario character and you drive around there. So my son's going with me, and he found that, so that we want to do that, and that's in Tokyo. Hopefully, it doesn't take all day, and we can do other things. But I know that's one of the things that we want to do there, and I haven't looked around at the other stops to see what we're going to do, and even that go-kart. I don't know in early April. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I don't know if it's going to be 50 or 39 or 62.
In Tokyo, it was like 50s and 60s. It was warm.
50 and 60. Okay.
Because their seasons are kind of opposite of us. Now, it didn't get cold until we got north on the, I guess you call it the island on Japan, up there in Otoro, and I know I'm not saying them right, but Otoro and
yeah,
that was a little cooler, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I had I've got a couple of shirts. One of them was made out of like a jean material, and it's long sleeve. And then I had a windbreaker over it, and I was fine.
Yeah, we were actually in. So where are you going? Where else are you going other than Tokyo?
Oh boy, hold on.
Hiroshima or
probably Hiroshima, Okinawa.
Okay, those were hot.
They were hot.
Yeah, so you packed for 2 seasons there, summer and winter.
Oh.
Well, I was going to Alaska, so I knew I had to be prepared for winter. Even though Alaska, I have to bring a winter coat because you never know, like especially in the fjords, how cold it's going to be.
Yeah.
Very
so I have to make sure, I have to make sure I have my coat and hat. Scott, hat. You have to have a hat in Alaska.
Yeah.
If Scott's still in here.
I had a, I don't know, you call it a toboggan, one of the cloth hats. But then I had a, hey Jen, had a like a hoodie with a, well, it's a zip up sweater thingy with a hood. So I started out with all that when I went trekking through the forest, and quickly came out of the gloves and hats. But it was in the probably the mid to upper 50s, and that was that Juno? And then, but the when we were at the glacier, man, it was frigid. It was just bone chilling, cold. Set your camera or your if you're using your phone to like a 10-second delay or whatever on the shutter, so that you can get the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
They were
You mean like
supposed to have been out.
like a time lapse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. She told us mine would only go to like a 10-second delay, and it was kind of foggy and stuff. So I have a couple of pictures that are questionable if I got them. There's a little purple and a little green, but it's not like bam in your face.
Yeah.
But when I went through trekking through the Tongass National Forest, the guy that led the excursion there, he was like, all right, change your settings on your phone, do this, do that, do that. And it was just unbelievable, the difference. Like a setting sun photo, it was burnt orange and reds, and I mean, it was beautiful. And before that, it was like gray. Like, oh, this is boring, you know. All of my ice photos and stuff were just, it was like black and white almost. And then changed the settings. I'm sitting in the main or in the in Lido behind a dirty glass with the light reflecting off, and it was still some of the prettiest sunset photos I've ever taken on the water. So had I had those settings, I might have captured the Northern Lights.
I'm gonna definitely look. I'm going to Sapporo. Was that Aturo? Is that?
Yeah, Sapporo, Aturo,
and then Hakodate. Hakodate, then Hiroshima, Tokyo, and Okinawa. So it's like 5 stops in Japan.
Well, the Sapporo, I thought, is where we were supposed to go, and then they changed it. That was the port, and then they changed it and said Tokyo. So we had a great excursion booked there. But when they changed it and said we weren't docking in Sapporo, but docking in Tokyo, they didn't offer the excursion. We lost it. And I guess it was far enough south or something that it probably took us south on the excursion. Then it would have been too far to go. But a lot of people rode the bullet train, and
they have us going to Tokyo, and then a couple of days later we wind up there in Hakodate, and the next day is in Sapporo, which is Ataru Ataru.
Well, I was saying Atoro. I don't know if that's right.
I'm going with you, Atoro.
And that's the northern end of the island-ish. But it looked like, because Okinawa, you go in over here, and then Hiroshima, you go in over here, and then Tokyo's over here. I was like, why? Why not stuff all on the same side?
Well, there definitely is like a day or two in between a couple of these, like between, what is this one? Hakodate and Tokyo, there's like a day. So somehow we're, so it'll take us a day to get around to wherever we have to go. So
yeah, it was like Guam, and then 2 days, and then Okinawa, and then a day, then Hiroshima, and then a day or two to get to Tokyo, and then another day to get to Otoro, and then the other place, wherever it was, that was like Mori. Yeah, that was like the next day. So
I was watching you had your day in Hiroshima. I was watching that today, and because I'm watching your stuff, getting ready for Japan, and I want to do probably go over there and do that museum also, and just walk around.
Oh yeah, it's there's no way to describe how that museum is.
Well, it's like the 9/11 museum in New York. You've been to that? How somber it is, and just tugs at your heartstrings. And then they show that video of the bomb drop.
Yep.
So we have here the Oklahoma City Memorial thing. So all kinds of sadness.
Yeah.
But
And they do have one in Okinawa that's real good. The Peace
Memorial Park.
Peace Memorial Park.
Okay.
That they take you on a pretty good tour before they actually take you to the park. You get to see what was it? You actually get to see the tunnel system. Like if you've ever seen the movie Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take you down into the same tunnel system that they used on that. I mean, you don't get to go to Hacksaw Ridge, but you get to see. I mean, they actually you get to see the room where the colonel or general or whoever it was committed Harry. Then they also take you to a girls' school where they were basically 13. Was it 13 and above? They made them basically start. They came and got them and made them start doing nursing duties and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and the little boys were soldiers.
Yeah, the little boys were soldiers, and then they actually take you to this huge park, and it's got granite. Well, it looks like granite. It may be marble. It looks like little zigzag monuments, and it has a whole bunch of names on both sides. And I think there's like 126,000 names on them, and they're and what that is that's the names of the people they know that died during the battles of Okinawa. And they said they're still adding names to them annually because of the DNA testing and stuff like that they can do now. And that they're getting the people identified, they're adding their names to the walls.
Wow.
But I mean that thing.
Yeah, it's like etched in black marble. It's
beautiful.
Huge. Yeah, I mean we were 3-4 hours there and didn't cover half of it. He did do a live from up on the cliff looking down over it, and the building, oh my gosh, was it 2 acres? It seemed like it was huge. And that was just the building. We went in and we're on the ground floor of the building and probably not even halfway through it, and we were running out of time, had to come back out.
Yeah. And we
Mike, have you ever been over to Japan?
I went one time when I was in the Navy. We went to Sasebo, which I'm not sure, like geographically where exactly that is, but I didn't get to, get out in town too much because it was a working port for me. But I got to see a little, but I just remember it was kind of expensive. I mean, I went to one place and got like a hot dog and some French fries, and it was like $20-something.
Get out of here!
Nice.
Yeah.
They saw you coming, Mike.
Yeah, it could have been. They saw. They're like, hey, this guy, one of those sailors.
Well, there was at the hey Uncle Dave, welcome in.
Hey, Uncle Dave.
At the mall in Guam, there was a little place there called Fizzy's or something like that, and they had some unusual combinations for hot dogs. And I got a hot dog with salsa and sour cream on it. And I thought, okay, this is going to be interesting, but man, it was good. And it was one of those,
good.
What's that? The hot dog brand that we don't buy it, but I can't think for what it is right now. Because I just uploaded pictures a few days ago. It took forever to get them to actual load, but it was real good. And it was the guy that ran the Harley shop had the little, and it was a soda shop. And so it had like Marilyn Monroe and Elvis, all those. It was real neat inside of it.
Okay.
But the food was really good. So if you do get a chance to go to Guam, it's in the mall. But
maybe one day. Now I heard you guys talking. You think you're done with the long journey cruises, huh?
Not me.
Oh, not you. Okay.
I just have to. I just can't do anything anytime soon because my boss was nice enough to let me off for 2 in a row.
So, yeah, no. It sounded like okay. So because you don't have enough time, but Lisa, it would sound like you don't want to be that long on the water anymore.
But I'll be honest with you. If it was on the Jubilee on that long, absolutely, because there's things to do. In Luminosa, there's nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
They really didn't have, you know, on the last one that we went on, they actually had activities and stuff like that. Well, the one that we went on with you, where they had, I mean, they actually had activities to keep you entertained and stuff. But this, it was like a lecture in the morning and then trivia and
all day long trivia.
All day long.
All day. And then the shows at night. And the shows were, I mean, they were okay.
They didn't have anybody like teaching like Japanese or anything like that? Because I know like going,
Not on that one. And I slammed them on that. You know, you had all these C days that you could have taught us the basics, you know, please, thank you, you know, whatever. And, you know, I've heard terminology for years, but I don't want to get on there and say something about their mom when I'm trying to say thank you, you know, and insult them.
Right.
But no, they didn't do anything like, you know, because last time they had the ladies from Hawaii that, you know, taught.
Right. Yeah. I assume they were going to do something like that with Japan. Well, you know, leaving Australia, coming to Japan.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing the 29 day. I'm kind of like the opposite of you though. Give me just a C day and I'm good. I go out there and hopefully they close the top off so we can go swimming. And you know, hot tub. I'm fine, and you know, get on my laptop. I don't get the internet every day, but if you know, I get on the internet a little bit and do a little YouTube, I'm in heaven. Give me more C days, the better.
Had there been something to do, it would have been fine. We spent way too much time in the casino because there was nothing else.
Yeah.
That'll get you.
I know. You pay for that free cruise. You pay for it.
Yeah.
I actually, believe it or not, I actually walked away from that cruise $300 or $400 ahead.
Nice.
That's
I
pretty
hit a couple of good jackpots. I mean, nothing that was a hand pay, but I would hit the major jackpots, and the biggest one I got was like 1,075 after all the bonus rounds and everything. And I could sit there. I'd go in the next day, and I'd sit there like 3 or 4 hours. I'd be up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit. I mean, I never lost all of that until like a week or so before the cruise was over. Then I'd spent like $200 or $300 that I charged to the room, and then I hit another major jackpot, a major thing, to where when I figured that the way I got it figured, I left anywhere from $300 to $400 ahead.
Sweet. I've only done that a few times going on a cruise ship.
Yeah, I know the Miracle. I couldn't get any luck going.
I don't think I had much luck when I went to Hawaii on the Miracle.
That second to the last day before getting back, I had a little bit of a rally and scrape back some of what I lost, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think I had better luck at the blackjack table than I did on the slot machines.
Well, I'll just say we had a steak dinner and
got a couples massage.
We got couples massage.
Okay.
What else did we get?
Yeah, we got comped a couple of different things.
There was something else. I don't remember what it was. But apparently the points and stuff that you earn in there, you can trade in for things as well. I don't know if y'all knew that. So
I've heard of that, but I've never actually done it, unless they took it out, like when they gave me a steak dinner. If they took out of that balance, they maybe use that to buy me a steak dinner or the bottle of wine or something they sent to the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that. I did win a bottle of wine in the jewelry store, and somebody else tried to claim it, but we both got one. But I mean, it was okay for that, and we had the coffee and the puzzle every morning, and then it was just kind of like, all right, what are we gonna do? I don't know. What are you gonna do? Oh, well, there's trivia. I'm going to trivia. So, but like I said, Jessica. So hopefully Jessica will be on there, and she is a biologist.
Yeah.
And if she is, go to her lectures.
Biologist or naturalist?
The biologist through Japan. And then naturalist, the naturalist got on at the last port in Japan. Jessica got off and they got on.
Okay. Yeah. So biology, that's what I'm looking out for.
Yeah, since you'll actually be going, you're going from Alaska to Japan, right?
No, I'm going from Brisbane to Japan, and then Japan to Alaska.
Yeah. All right. For some reason, I was thinking that you were taking the return trip, and I was going like, well, I don't know that they would have the naturalist on there on the return trip.
Yeah.
But
well, I'm trying to think when I did the naturalist. I don't know. Did we pick them up? Because I went from Seattle there one time, and I'm pretty sure we had a naturalist on each one, but it was like, I think we went to Hawaii. No, where did we go? I don't remember. But it seemed like when I did the Seattle to Sydney, that we had a naturalist on there.
Okay.
But I don't remember exactly. So maybe we did, maybe we didn't. I don't know.
She did say when she got on there, she will be on the Luminosa the entire season. So she'll be on until it leaves port. It'll be her, not anybody else. Very nice young lady. She's only 23, I think. She had her birthday while we were on there.
Was it Emily?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I don't remember if that was the same one we had last year or not.
That was who I had. And I think we were on the same. I think that was the same one.
Yeah, we were
so
on
it was Emily.
Okay. I don't guess I ever saw her. I just hear her come across the intercom and didn't pay much attention. But yeah, we talked to her, ran into her a few times, and went to several of her
lectures.
Yeah. And
that was the only thing that got me a little bit, is that her lectures were popular the first couple of days. You went in there, and it wasn't hard at all to find a seat on the bottom floor, but after a couple of days, it was like pretty much if you didn't get there beforehand, you were sitting up in the balconies because the bottom floor was jam-packed.
Yeah, I really do. I would suggest to everybody, if you get on a ship and they have a naturalist, go and listen, and you learn so much. And follow them around. They'll go right after the lecture. They would take you upstairs to look for wildlife and things like that. And that was the best way to try to find out what was going on, how to look for the whales and the bubbles. If you see these bubbles coming out, it means the whale's nearby. And so you always do that.
Yeah.
The one we had, he was showing us how to use the binos, showing us.
Yeah.
Because I guess he was also a photographer, so he would give you pointers on your camera settings and things like that. So that was pretty neat. And then Skagway, they actually brought a local guy, and I guess he was a musician. So like he told the history of Alaska through songs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes,
that was something that was kind of like I wasn't expecting, and it just popped up in the little hub app thing, and so I ran down there and checked that out, and that was actually pretty cool.
I did that one too. That guy, he was on my cruise, and I did, because he sang the whole song, and like a song about everything about Alaska.
Right.
But that was interesting.
And then they also had like a caricature artist.
Yep.
So like every morning you go down, sign up. That was pretty popular.
It was. I never did it. I always said I was going to do it, but I never did.
Yeah, me too. I would say I was going to do it, and then I'd walk by and the line was just so long. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the casino or do something else.
Yeah, that was us. Back to the casino. Yeah. So the same guy that was on there last year, Brett Bauer, was on there again this year, all the way. And he talked him into letting him stay all the way to Alaska this time instead of getting off. Because I guess he was supposed to get off in Japan in the last port there, but he talked him into letting him stay. And so it was him. He did him in the morning, and there was a guy in the afternoon. And then in Japan, they brought on another guy and a female. I guess the other, the first guy that was with him got off, and then the other two got on. So there's actually three of them, and he's working on some big picture, and he actually worked for Hanna-Barbera previously, and did something with a Mandalorian or whatever it's called, the Baby Yoda. And he kept talking about, was it Scrappy Doo? I don't think he liked Scrappy much, but he was talking about, I guess he worked there around the time Scrappy came in, and so he had some of that, and you know, he did shows. Now that was good to go to his lectures and stuff. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
Well, it can't happen.
Yeah. And really the only problem I had with Emily's things were how many times did we cross timelines?
7.
And they were still starting at 9 a.m. So we're kind of, after a month now, we're used to Australian time, and we're quickly getting to Central or Pacific time, I guess. But they weren't adjusting the show times. It was still at 9 a.m., which on day 2 was 8 a.m. On day 3, it was 7 a.m. Then it would have been equal to 4 a.m. You know, we're just, I felt so bad. And we were at one point, we were on like the 3rd row, and I was there.
Go to bed early.
I mean,
Yeah, well,
we did. There was nothing to do. We did.
but every night you had to, well, when you go to bed tonight, change, you know, for 7 nights in a row, it was like, you know, when you go to bed, make sure you set your clocks ahead an hour.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Hey, Mike, when is your next Journey cruise?
The Dream in October. That's the
Ultra cruise?
It's a 2-week over to the Eastern Caribbean. So we're hitting like St. Martin, St. Thomas, you know, all those saints, and Puerto Rico, and I don't know, there's a few others in there.
Yeah. That's it's like the Southern Caribbean, like the St. Thomas, St. Kitts and all that.
Right.
Yeah, that's like the Southern. And I'm doing that itinerary in
all the
January.
stuff you don't usually hit from
You
Galveston.
don't know.
So I got to do the Journeys cruise to get over there, you know. But I've been looking at doing another cruise on the Miracle. I was trying to squeeze another one in. I know they had that repositioning cruise from San Fran to Galveston, but I guess it must be booked up because it's just totally disappeared off the.
Really?
Yeah. But they do have an Alaska cruise in July that I could use my casino deal for that. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to squeeze, because in August that's when I'm taking my trip to Thailand. So
nice.
I don't know if that's doing too much, you know.
Okay, this is a dumb question. You're flying in?
Yep.
Where you
from Houston to Taiwan. It's Eva Airlines.
Okay.
And so I leave here at like 1:30 in the morning. And
okay.
15 and a half hour flight. And then I'm in Taiwan for 2 hours. And then it's another 3 or 4 hours from there down to Bangkok.
And you're flying in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Mike,
I get there middle of the day, so that works out. So
Mike, I may try to fly over there. I may try to meet you over there.
Hey,
I'm not gonna stay long. I want to go for a couple of days. But that's one of the advantages of working like for Delta. Yeah. I'm supposed to right now. I was supposed to be in Tokyo. I decided not to go because I was only going to be able to stay over there for a couple of days.
Yeah,
and it's like a 13-hour flight, but it's a direct flight from Detroit to Tokyo. What is it?
Narita.
Not Narita. It's the other one. Anyway, there's the 2 airports, but I can't think of nothing. But there's another airport. Fly directly into there, and because I wanted to go over and do my go-karts, and I decided not to. But I fly standby, so all I have to do is pay the taxes to go over there. So they had my first class seat waiting on me to go, but I decided not to, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt for not doing it because I would be jet lagged. Because I've done it before, like just really quick 2-day trips. Luckily, I can see whether or not I'm gonna get first class. In first class, the lay flat beds. That's the key. Because at least I can try to get some rest.
Yeah, I looked at
the one a lot on the plane, but yeah,
I looked at those for this trip, but it would have been $6,000.
They're expensive. They are. I'm telling you, one of the best things I ever did was work part-time for Delta.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that with us on the Fiji, when we took Fiji, we booked, I don't know, the cheapest tickets you could get all the way there. But as the dates got closer, they sent us a notification saying, hey, we've got some first class seats available if you want to bid on them. And so I turned in the minimum bid and ended up getting seats from San Francisco to Fiji, which was the long part of the flight. I missed out on the one from Fiji to Brisbane, but I mean that was a short flight compared to the big one. And so we got to lay down and sleep, and so I mean there's always that chance that you could book the cheap ones, and then they send you, hey, bid on these, and
awesome.
May not cost you quite that much.
That's really where I want to go. I want to go to French Polynesian Islands. I'd rather go there than Alaska. I've been to Alaska twice. I wish this trip was going there instead of Alaska. I would love to have done like Japan and Fiji and Numia and Moorea.
Yeah, that was the most beautiful.
That really was. I tell everybody. I mean, Alaska was special as far as like the winter scenery, but to me, it's for the Caribbean, for that tropical scenery. There was no place more beautiful than Moorea, and that's where I really want to go.
Yeah, a lot of nice places to see out there.
Yeah, they are. Mike, they are. I feel like for people that were like in the military that got to go to a lot of these places, I just hope they took advantage of it because, the world is it's large, but it's small, and we should try to. I know nobody wants to fly for 14 hours, 16 hours. I understand that.
Yeah.
It's matter of fact, it's like I keep talking to people now, and I'm kind of hooked on $100 cruises, Carnival $100 cruises. But if I had to pay, would I want to do 2 cruises, like to the Caribbean, or let's say 3 cruises, 3 cruises in the Caribbean, or 1 cruise in the Caribbean and then 1 cruise from like Australia or someplace, or fly over to Singapore. So you would cruise less, but one of your cruises you would use basically for airfare to get to wherever you're going. And God bless the Caribbean, but you can only go to Cozumel and all these places so many times. I don't care how beautiful the ships are. I mean, I do like the newest ships, but going on Australia. And which was a lot of fun, and then hitting Fiji and the French Polynesian Islands, and going to Japan. To me, those are those bucket list type cruises that I'm trying to do now.
Yeah,
there was a couple that was on the same cruise with us last year, and found out, I think it was in Fiji, that I got to talk to the wife. Well, we've been up here for about 25 years. And so talking to the wife, because the husband, he was in the water. It was cold. It was rainy. It was gross. And he was like, well, I have to go. So he goes out and he comes back and he's freezing. And we're talking, we worked together when I worked down in Fort Worth. And so, we've stayed friends. Well, now they're on, let's see, they've hit 2 or 3 ports in Spain, Portugal. They're on a 30-day cruise going the other way, and I was like, wow. And they're posting pictures and lives from Portugal, and so, man, it's just beautiful. I thought, okay, I might have to do another one of those long ones to go to some of those places, but
go someplace. Going someplace different though. I mean, that's. I don't want to go to the same places anymore. Time's running out. I want to hit all these other places, the Mediterranean, Europe, and all that. I want to hit those. And if that means taking fewer cruises to the Caribbean to get over there, it's what I got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I did miss my beach a lot. We're going to go over next week and hit the same ones we did over New Year's. So, you know, my cousin's first time for them to go down there. So I was like, all right, we'll go, you know, but man, up there on the deck in Alaska, I was like, where's my son? Give me the sun.
That's funny. I lost my video. I think I posted something up there first, but I had video because the Luminosa, the back pool is heated.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the snow-covered mountains and me on the deck in the heated pool, which it was freezing cold. But when you got in the water, the water was hot. However, when your head was above the water, it felt like needles sticking into your head because the water. It was cold. But I did it for YouTube. So I went in there for a little bit and got my videos and got out. And of course, I lose the footage. But I did think I posted a couple of them before I lost it.
Yeah, there was one day on the Miracle, you know, because like the Serenity deck is all the way back aft, and it was real foggy out. It was foggy and cold, you know, and I went to eat lunch. Then I came back. I just popped my head out there to see what was going on, and I saw the lifeguard out there, you know, and I was like, "Hey, man, is the hot tub open?" You know, and he's like, "Yeah." I mean,
yeah.
Well, I went changed, so I'm out there, but it was crazy because like there's so much fog, I couldn't even see like the Serenity bar from where I was at. It's kind of like I was out there by myself, you know.
Yep. No, I really do, and I mean, you call me antisocial, but just being out there, even by yourself, I love it. I love the sea days and just sitting there having a cup of coffee and looking out the window and watching the world go by. Knock on wood, I didn't really have any really rough weather. There was a couple of days here and there, but nothing that I can remember. We probably had worse weather on this Margaritaville the last 4 days. You know, this 4-day trip I just got off of than anything I had going on in the Pacific. So I can't wait to go back. I can't. There's somebody I met through Destination Fun in one of our chats. He's a cruise vlogger for TikTok, and we just met. And come to find out, we're going on that 29-day cruise from Brisbane to Seattle together. So that'll be fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Neat.
Maybe you can connect a little sooner. Not halfway through it.
Are we talking? I mean, he comes to my lives, and I try to go to his lives, and I'm trying to get into the TikTok. There's so much to do with this. I wish I had the energy of controversial cruising. That man is everywhere, and I got to see him firsthand work, and he's doing it right. He's doing it. He's getting out there. He's getting his content, enjoying himself. But as he's enjoying himself, he's getting his content.
So you got to do it.
Look at Scott. He probably has to work tomorrow, and he's still in this chat now. But that Scott is him and Edna's World and Life with V. They really got it. Didn't seem like it, but they were out there getting content. And I'm looking at their videos now. I'm like, all that time we were down there talking, they were getting content. You know, when they had a break, whatever, they're over there talking, hey, blah 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 blah. And I'm over there, I'm just drinking, and I'm what's going on? And Scott, he's over there. Every night, because we shared a cabin, he would go out in the hallway. And now I'm seeing why, because he's coming in and in the blog and in the vlog. Yeah, it's been a long day, people. And I'm like, wow. And I'm up here, I'm laying in bed. Okay, that's the end of this day. It's over. And he's literally walking down the hallway, recapping his whole day. It's good, like watching people do their craft. And he kind of inspired me.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, we're still working and trying to learn. And, since November, I've been working, 12-hour shifts overnight. And then I'll come back and work a day shift and then back to nights. And I had 65 hours one week, 62, and I think 68 this week. And I was supposed to have been off today and ended up having to work. So I worked 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then go back in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So we're going to have breakfast with the kids in the morning and I'll be back to bed. And we just,
Hey, I remember those days. Hey, Howie Cruz, welcome in. Appreciate you guys coming in.
There.
Yeah, nope. I remember those days. Luckily for me, I don't have those problems now.
Yeah. I felt a lot of guilt being on, that long cruise and being new in the position, and they were like, "Well, we didn't have a supervisor before you went, so we'll figure it out. Just go." Okay. So
they'll be okay. They will be okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't my responsibility before, and it is now. So
yeah, well, I look at it as they hired you knowing that you had those planned. So, but
if you let them know.
But you say that, but how many times did you try to check your email?
Checking email and not going is two different things.
Yeah. So hopefully I can get it covered for the cruise next week. So
hopefully next week. Well, let me know if you can't make it. I'll take your spot.
Well, it's a king bed. I don't know.
Well, we can always separate them. Come on now. We're cruisers here. We know how that works.
Yeah.
Yes, separate them.
We're not that kind of couple.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'll
figure out something.
We'll figure out something. I'll have to call the other supervisors and go, "Hey, look, I need some help."
Please, cover me for a few days.
Well, I gotta go. If I have to go by myself,
See, this one was not a casino deal. I'll just put it that way. We're actually going to have one of the front cabins, and we'll be like right underneath the bridge.
Oh, nice! The front forward ocean views.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, those are nice.
Reach up and tickle the captain's foot while he's up there. First time we've had one of those.
Yeah.
Y'all got any excursions planned for?
I've got dives scheduled in each port. I had to go outside of Carnival because they didn't offer anything. And then the one port where they did have dives scheduled sold out before we even knew it was up.
Well, no, I knew. I was waiting to hear if you wanted to go, and then I got busy and forgot. And yeah, it sold out. So that was my fault. But
managed to contact some dive shops and make arrangements to where I've got dives in each port, 2 dives in each port.
Nice.
So she's going to be going to
Mr. Sancho's in Cozumel, and then Brady Cay or something like that in Costa Maya, and then Honduras. No, that was Honduras. What are we doing in Costa Maya? Oh, I'm just going to go hang out at the beach because his dive shop is there on the beach. And aren't y'all just walk out?
No.
Oh, well, I'm going to go hang out there at the Krusty Krab or Cranky Crab or whatever it is.
Crazy Lobster.
That's it. Yeah.
Crazy Lobster.
Crazy Lobster. I knew it was some kind of fish.
Yeah.
And like I said, my cousins haven't been down there at all, and they saw our pictures from New Year's at Mr. Sancho, so they wanted to do that. I was like, all right. And then his wife wants to hold a sloth, and they were looking at it was like $149 or something like that to go through Carnival. And somebody had posted, in the Carnival page and said, hey, we're trying to get a group together to go do this, and it'll be lunch in Brady's Key or K, whatever it is. And so it's the exact same thing we would have done on the excursion, plus beach, plus lunch and all this, and it's going to be $79 if they can get enough people.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't really do excursions outside of Carnival and she was like, I guarantee you'll be back in time, and I'm like, all right, better. You're going to get me to Costa Maya if you don't. So, and then Costa Maya, again, the excursions on Carnival, I'm just like, man, no, there's nothing. Because last time we went to Costa Maya, we just walked around in port.
Yeah.
And
Most of these ports, again, very rarely do I buy excursions through Carnival. You just come back, you come back a couple hours ahead of time. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't have if you leave at 4, don't have an excursion. Oh, we'll get you back by 3:30. No.
Yeah,
no.
I want an early excursion. I want to be back by 1.
With the whale watching I did in Alaska and Juneau, they were supposed to get us back at 4, I think it was, and the ship was final call at 3:30. And they're like, "What time do you have to be back?" So I mean, it was like we got there like 10 minutes till final call. But it was a Carnival excursion, so they had to wait for it.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason I'm like, yeah, no.
I'm just hoping these storms don't make the diving bad, because I bought a new toy since I got so many dive trips scheduled. I went out and bought something that.
Let me show the cover. Nobody's gonna know what it's upside down.
Well, camera.
Well, if it matters.
Yeah, it's a camera case for my iPhone.
Oh,
okay.
That's nice.
And that way I can take it down there and do videos and stuff like that with it, instead of having to be stuck with the GoPro.
Yeah, the shark videos were done with something like that. Not the same thing, but something like that on an iPhone.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the GoPro?
Well, the GoPro, you can't zoom in and out while you're diving because it's in a case.
Oh, gotcha.
Once you set it at something, it's
and it's so tiny. I would lose that thing.
Which, I mean, that's okay, but I mean, if you see something far away, it's not like, I mean, because there's been times we've seen sharks and stuff like that far away, but well, they weren't really that far away. They just looked that far because of the way the GoPro's set up. And there was no way to change the focus, the lens on it and stuff. Whereas this, it's through Bluetooth. It interacts with your phone just like a gimbal. Real similar to a gimbal. You can zoom in and out, change from photo to video. It also has color correction built into it for the different depths of the water, and it'll even time stamp your picture as well as the depth that you were at.
Wow.
When you took it.
What's the depth availability on that?
It'll go to, I think, 130 feet, which is more than I'll go on an excursion. They usually don't go 60 feet, 60, 70 feet at the most.
That should be good.
It's supposed to be some very nice dive in there in Costa Maya, because you're right on the, what reef is it?
I don't know. I haven't been there before, so I'm not real familiar with it.
It'd be good to see. And going through a private company instead of Carnival and the other 2 ports, maybe it'll be different location and better videos.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Because I mean, some of them they've taken them on. It's like, oh, here's a boat. Okay, we're done. You can come back up now. It's like, really, $130 to look at a boat? There's no fish. There's nothing. And
Right.
I live through him because I don't swim and definitely don't dive, and so I want to see some. Paid to see stuff. Show me stuff.
Exactly.
Let's see some rotten wood out here, But first time I've been to the Brady Cay or whatever. It's supposed to be a lot like Mr. Sancho's, I guess, and then second time to Costa Maya, but like I said, we didn't get out of port. So I did see the flamingos last time. I made sure and found them. But so we'll get off and go to that. What'd you say, Crazy Lobster?
Yeah.
Crazy Lobster? Huh.
I mean, I've never been there, but I always hear people talk about it. So.
Well, and I know you can get like a medium-sized lobster for like $79, but I don't eat lobster, so I'll get some chicken tacos or something. My cousins may share one or something, but I'm going for the margaritas.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
We got, it wasn't like I say, it wasn't a casino deal, so I don't have the free drinks in the casino, but we did get some pretty good onboard credit. So
That's good.
I'll just say we could have gotten a drink package, but since he's doing so much diving, we didn't. And I was like, well, you can just use your extra and buy for me.
Yeah, I'm debating on buying the drink package for the Utopia since it's only 3 days. So, I mean, I guess I can maybe afford that. But I'll tell you what, the drink package just keeps going up and up and up.
Yeah.
It's getting close to where it's just like, you know, I might as well, you know, what's the advantage to having it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you're one of those, you know, where you're, you know, consistently going for 10 to 15 drinks a day, then yeah, I guess I would still say get it. But that's always a good debate, you know, the drink package, to get it or not get it.
Yeah, when you hit your 11th one at 10:30 in the morning, that's probably worth getting.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine. I mean, I might have hit 2 by then. I'll have sometimes a pineapple mimosa in the main dining room and then a spiked coffee, but I'm good until lunchtime then, you know. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I probably 4 or 5 drinks, and it wouldn't be worth it, I don't think, on Utopia to get the drink package. And I wouldn't want to drink. It's a 3-day cruise. I'm not gonna, I'd be so sluggish the next day. So like, say the first day, if I drank too much, well, the next day I'm not gonna want to do anything, and so I'm not gonna get the drink package. I've only got the drink package one time, and I didn't drink, and I didn't get my money's worth.
Same.
For how we cruise, I'll be on September 13th through the 16th.
Me too. I'm be right there with them. I get to meet Mike.
Yeah,
the man, the myth, the legend.
That's right. Not everybody's that lucky, so
I know.
I feel honored. We've met both of you at different times. We will not be on that cruise.
I'll be hitting diamond on that one. Of course, it won't take effect until the next cruise. They don't do it the same way Carnival does it, but.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, at least after that, you won't need the drink package. You get 4 drinks a day.
That's true. That's true.
But we're on. Oh, they're on the 15th through the 19th.
That's like the inaugural, isn't it? I think so.
Is that the inaugural?
Could be. I know I was originally on the. I was on the original inaugural, and then they moved it up, and then they moved me to that one. But I don't know. I just couldn't justify the cost of that cruise was going to be for such a short one. I know it's the inaugural and all that, but I was like, man, I don't know. So I backed out. So I went ahead and got the clock, moved it to the September clock group cruise. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a nice ship, though.
It is.
And I got my first class plane tickets through the little Royal Caribbean Air booking feature, which is the first time I did that. So let's see how that goes.
My only problem is the price and where you go. You know, what am I paying? I forget whatever it is.
You mean the plane tickets?
No, the cruise.
Oh.
It's like a 3-day cruise. It's dang near $1,000. I mean, for a 3-day cruise, you're spending almost $350 or whatever a day to go on a 3-day cruise, to go to Nassau and Coco Key.
Yeah, for me, that won't be that bad because I've never been to either. So
okay, well that's good.
It'll work out for me.
Hey, Cruising Chicks, thanks for coming in.
Cruising Chicks, welcome in.
Thank you.
Hello.
We haven't
been to Coco Key, but we've been to Nassau. First time we went there, I did the casino or whatever. The whole reason I went there was they have like an aquarium, and it's on the beach and all that. And they took us around and they had us all, so spread out. You couldn't hear, the people that were talking about what you could and couldn't do, where you couldn't go. And we get over there and we go to get in the pool, and they're like, "Oh, you're not staying here, so you can't get in here." What? So then I went over to the beach, and everything was rental. There was no chairs or anything on the beach unless you rented a chair. And then I was just like, all right. So I went back and I tried to find the aquarium, and I couldn't find that. And I was just so flustered when I got out of there. I just said, screw it, I'm leaving. I think I put $60 in the machine. I walked away with $65. And then I went out to catch the ride. And if you go there, when you come out, there's the front of the casino, there's a little, like an alleyway that kind of goes through a jungle area, and it'll take you down to like a flea market. And they had been all day. I hadn't eaten or had anything to drink. So I found a Starbucks. I went in there and I got a mango slushy or something like that. And I don't know if it was because I was hungry and hot and thirsty, but that was the best drink I've ever had from Starbucks. And then, so I wandered down there a little bit, came back up the little hill, and I can't get those here. Cannot get a mango slushy here. And, I was just like, I got to have another one. We've not been back to Nassau.
No.
But
Got to go back down there.
got to go back. Man, it was some good stuff. But it was in the casino. I mean, whether you gamble or not in there, it was really pretty. When you first walk in, it was like, of course, all their decorations and everything was, different, like sea life and urchins and stuff like that, and it was lit up and decorated real pretty. So
Yeah, I'm thinking about renting the jet skis at Perfect K.
mm.
I've been looking at I don't know, trying to do something crazy down there.
Well, I know I guess the last time we were there, well, we have been twice.
I go to the Hyde Beach.
Which one?
Well, we've been in Nassau, I guess, twice, because the second time the port was under construction. They were building for the bigger ships.
Isn't that where it flooded?
No, that was Key West.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, that was where you had to walk through all the construction zone and out and go through the gate over on the side, and it was all kinds of crazy. But no, we hadn't been to just say Coco Key. We hadn't been there.
No.
Yeah.
It's Cruising Chick says get the mozzarella sticks and the chicken sandwich in Perfect Key.
I keep hearing about that chicken.
Yeah, I just went there and did that, and I heard so much about it, and I got it. I might have got a bad batch. The mozzarella sticks were cold. The marinara sauce was bland. Chicken sandwich was just okay. It wasn't really seasoned well. Man. I was so because everybody talks about how great it is.
I've seen so many videos just about that sandwich.
I was so disappointed.
Man, that's just. Man,
but I'm gonna say I had a bad batch, and if I go back, I would try it again. But definitely the marinara sauce was like water. I mean it was bad. It was bad. I didn't like it at all. It was so bad that I want to try it again, because it's like everybody else can't be this wrong,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
well, and where's that one that's there? The bar on the beach. I can't remember now, but they have like jerk chicken and all that. And I kept hearing good things. And same thing. I went and got it. I was like, I mean, it's chicken. It wasn't. Of course, they've sold it. They've sold out when, I guess, during COVID, and since they've reopened, it's under new ownership. So I haven't been back. But I can't remember what port that was in.
I can't either.
But yeah, it was this. You go with all these high expectations, and you get there, and it's like, man, it's chicken.
Yeah, and that's kind of where it was. I mean, the chicken. If they think that was a good chicken sandwich, I got to take them to some places that I know, and they'll be like, "Wow, this is outstanding. Should be on some main dining table of some cruise ship or something."
So that's kind of like that place we got here. Everybody brags about. It's in another town, and everybody just raves about how good it is. You got to do it. And I mean, she's even thinks I'm not saying it's not, but she says how good it is and everything. And I've gone there, it's a chicken place. I went there and I ate it. I said, okay, it's fried chicken.
Did you eat there, or was it, because I brought it home a few times and it was,
No,
I grew up on
met
cold
Kelly
fried
and
chicken.
Ryan
It
there.
was good. But yeah, it's like they give you a piece of paper and you put your chicken and fried okra and nachos, I think is the only thing they sell. And then they give you sliced onions and bread and butter pickles, bread and butter, and a half slice of bread. And you take the bread and butter pickles and the onions and put it on the bread and make a little sandwich and just eat that by itself. First time somebody tried to get me to try it, I was like, you crazy. That's not good. It was so good. It was so good.
But it's still just chicken. We went out there, drove all that way out there, and I was like, okay, well, I was expecting some good chicken. I was just like, okay, well, it tastes like chicken.
It's only a 40-minute drive. I don't know what you're fussing about.
Yeah, but there's a Popeyes down the road.
Yeah. But it's not as good. The snorkeling's really good at Coco K2. They saw a couple of stingrays.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That'd be cool.
Have to check it out.
Yeah. My brother, way back, I was 18, we went to Galveston. And it was him, my sister-in-law, and a friend of ours from school. The four of us go down there. And my brother and the friend, they were trying to catch a stingray with a beach towel. They'd go underneath it, try to scoop it and lift it, and it'd slither off. And I'm like, oh my God, you're going to end up with a spear through your heart. Will you
Right. Oh,
stop?
my goodness.
Yeah, that don't sound like a good thing to do.
I always thought he was smart until that. And then I was just kind of like, yeah, maybe not so much.
The older I get, the less I like going to the beach. I like going to the beach, but I like less going into the water.
Yeah.
I'm more of a pool person, and I was never that way. I always wanted to go to the beach and couldn't wait to get to the water. And the older I get, I start hearing about these shark attacks, and it's like, well, how deep was the water? It was waist deep. And I'm like, waist deep? Hold on, I can't. I'm not a good swimmer, and I'm like, waist deep? Yeah, I've been out there many a times, and even if it doesn't, kill you or take your arm off, I don't want to get bit by a shark, a stingray, a jellyfish, and I'm getting too old for that. Give me the swimming pool now.
Well, we went.
Hey,
I forget. It's been a long day since 5 o'clock this morning. We went on the Freedom. That was the best memory of the trip. Was we did a stingray excursion. We got in there and swam with them, and they would go by, and the ones that were there from the area, they would catch them and hold them. You could come up and kiss it, and you had to feed, you could feed it. And they told you, like, tuck your thumb inside your hand. They put the squid or whatever in there, and you tuck your thumb. They said, make sure you hold it really good. I said, okay, all right. Put it up underneath that stingray, and stuck the thumb right up there, and I had a hickey on there for 2 days from that stingray. And I was like, I can't tell anybody this. But it was cool being that close to them, and because they hold them up underneath their arm, and I guess because they were there in that area all the time, they were
kind of tame,
somewhat tame for a wild animal, I guess. They knew they were going to get food, I guess. So
yeah.
But got to do that at least once, and I don't swim at all, Bill. So,
no thanks. I stick to the swimming pool and the beer drinkers that don't get out the pool.
I understand. Wasting away a margarita. Yes, I would like to be. My sister-in-law, they hit every Margaritaville in port that they go to. I don't know if we've been to only one.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it was. So I like the music, but
Yeah,
I don't
we
know.
should go to that one in Cozumel. It's right there on the Royal Caribbean Pier. I always hit that up on the way back.
The last cruise, we just parked there for the first. I'm sorry, I just docked there for the first time. I've never docked at that pier before. I've always stopped at the other one by Three Amigos.
Right.
And this is like, was a nice little port over here. I'm like, oh, I could deal with this. And Margaritaville, but the ship was a Margaritaville ship, so that makes sense.
Right.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that fits. Double
Yeah, I
dipping.
was watching some of the videos on that. It was we've not been on that one. We're fixing for the first time. We're going to get off Carnival and go on a different one. So
You'll be surprised. I probably my favorite ship is the Meraviglia from MSC, and then you're talking as far as I like MSC ships, the newer ones. But then I did the Allure of the Seas on Royal Caribbean, and I mean, and that ship is 20 years old, 20 years plus, and I think it outdoes any Carnival ship that's out there.
Wow.
You know, and I'm a Carnival person. Most of my cruises have always been on Carnival. But as far as for things to do, you want things to do, go on a royal ship, an Oasis class royal ship. You're going to pay for it, but there's I mean, the Aqua Show is
Yeah.
There's nothing comparable to it on the sea.
Yeah, I did Harmony of the Seas, and I was lucky. I got to use a casino deal on that one. So
Yeah.
they threw in a balcony, and I was like all the way back aft. I mean, I wasn't one of those that was facing because I think those are all suites. But man, that ship was there was just so much to do.
There is. I mean, there's that. I and this is on a 4-day cruise on Allure. So they had that show. They had an ice skating show. They had the Mamma Mia, the play. I mean, they did a 2.5 hour play of Mamma Mia. So I never watched Mamma Mia before. 2 hours and 45 minutes. They had a 15-minute intermission. So I got there to see the whole play of Mamma Mia, and it was good. There's no comparison between the two as far as entertainment, as far as I'm concerned. Other people they think I'm bashing Carnival. I'm not really bashing Carnival. Carnival does what it does well, the party ships and the younger crowds. But as far as entertainment for the kids, I mean, they had a merry-go-round and the flow rider, and which is the simulated boogie boards and water, on the water boards or whatever. It was just so many things to do. The music venues there, I loved. They had Central Park. It's like a park, and you're sitting there having a sandwich and a drink in the middle of a park setting. And this ship is from 2009, 2010-ish, right around that time. I can only imagine what the Icon is. I can only imagine what the Utopia is going to be. I mean, I can't wait to see. Yeah,
the Quantum class is pretty good too.
Quantum class.
It's very similar to the Oasis. The only difference is, they don't have that aqua theater in the back.
Okay.
It's like instead they have like a big enclosed area with these huge floor to ceiling glass windows, and they do like these electronic shows back there, and there's like a cafe and all of that. Plus they have that little North Star arm that raises up, so I mean, if you like the Oasis, Quantum's pretty close. I mean, I went on the Ovation of the Seas, and that's what I did my first Alaska cruise on. And, pretty similar. I mean, I the Oasis, that like I said, they got the Aqua Theater and some other things, but those are two really good class ships that they got. I haven't been on the Icon. I probably won't see that one for a while, till the prices come down.
That's what it is for me. I mean, that the prices are just so high. That's why I don't, I can't do the Royal, because being a solo cruiser most of the time, it's $1,500 to $1,000 to $1,500, like 3 or 4 day cruise. And for that kind of money on Carnival, because I gamble a little bit on Carnival, I'm able to, I take 5 cruises for that price.
Yeah.
Well,
which one are we going on next year?
It's NCL, but I don't remember. It's for the wedding. I don't remember the name of the show. I'm afraid that we're going to get on there and go.
Encore. Isn't it the Encore?
That sounds right. I'm afraid we're going to get on there and go, oh, and then want to go back. when the price, the price tag it was on it, I'm just like, so she made sure that, she gave me whatever so that we get the points for the trip. And I was like, all right, but if you do this, it'll only be this much. And so we have, the thing back then, it was like the alcohol package or whatever was like $21 a day or something like that, but it's unlimited. And I'm like, okay. And so Tony's not diving. So he was like, yeah, go ahead and do that, But even when, we had drinks in the casino, I'd look over and he's drinking a Diet Coke. And I'm like, really?
Well,
you're not diving.
I was kind of the same way. I would go to the casino like in Carnival and get drinks, get like the Pepsis or whatever they had, and get 2 or 3 of those and take them back to the cabin.
Yeah, I had one of the waiters look at me funny one time when I forgot what it was she ordered, and he came over to me. We were sitting next to each other playing, so he took my order, and I said a Diet Coke, and he just kind of stood there and looked at me like, "What? Are you kidding me?" And I was like, "Yeah, Diet Coke." Okay.
Yeah, I had the Blue Long Island. Don't do it. I had 2 of them. And there was 3 of him sitting next to me.
Right.
I have, the trash can punch when I was not old enough to drink. But other than that, I don't think I've ever been that drunk. And I only had 2. And they're the little skinny glasses that are like this tall. He come walking by this tray and, here's a blue drink. And my favorite was Blue Hawaiian. And I was like, hey, what's that? He goes, oh, it's a Blue Long Island. Oh, okay. You want to try one? Sure. And he came around and went, you want another one? I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know. And then I'm walking down the hall, bouncing off the walls and everything. And he was like, well, I'm going to go back through. I'm going with you because there's no way I can make it to the other end of the ship by myself. And man, it was, I probably had 6 or 8 of them out of those 30 days, but only 2 at a time.
They were good. I started drinking them.
Blue Long Island. I got to remember that.
Yeah. One of the guys even asked me when I was about the second time or third time I ordered one of those. He was like, "Oh, you like the strong ones, don't you?" I don't know if it's strong or not. I like the way it tastes.
5 liquors in it.
I'll definitely do that because I drink free in the casino. So I can, bring my cup down there and pour a couple of those in there, and I have my drink for the day. Go to the shows or whatever, and
yeah, I mean it was good. It was strong, but it was good. There was one night I had 2 of those, and I went back to the Fireball and Sprite. I asked him for that, and he was like, "So you want a shot of Fireball and a can of Sprite?" I was like, "No, Fireball and Sprite, like a rum and Coke, but." Fireball and Sprite, and he just looked at me and went, okay. But man, they were excellent. I mean, it was perfect. The bartenders on this one was great. I never got a bad drink.
Yeah, I don't think they were pulling any liquor, that's for sure.
That's good. That's why I don't think I would like those robotic bartenders on like some royal ships. It's like, well, there's no long pours here. I need the long pours. Unless you're paying for it.
You're paying for the show. That's, I did it once on the Ovation. Just to say I did it. And
I would do it once just for that reason.
I mean, it wasn't a bad drink, but yeah, you're going to get like whatever the prescribed ingredients are.
Did either of y'all get the drink with the big bubble on the top of it on the Jubilee?
I didn't.
I did. Yeah, I believe I did. I got it there on Mardi Gras. It had the fortune teller bar. They had it, and then I got it on this last ship. I think it was called Bubble Up or something. So they all had a version of it.
Yeah, was it good?
The drink was okay. It's a lot of show. I mean, the bubble really didn't do anything to it, and the smoke or whatever inside it wasn't. It didn't make your drink smoky. There's a couple of drinks that I had where they infused smoke into the drink. Mm-hmm. That was pretty good, but that one it didn't do it. That was mostly just for show.
What was he talking? Smoked ice or something like
Yeah,
that they put in bourbon?
Well, what some people do with their smokers, they'll get like a pan of water and put it out there on the smoker. And then when they bring it back in, they just pour the water into ice trays and then freeze it. And that way you've got smoked ice cubes.
Okay.
And then you can put them in your drinks and it kind of gives that smoky flavor to it.
Makes sense.
I don't drink bourbon, so I don't know if that would be. Well, I say that. I don't know that we've cooked with it, haven't we?
Yeah.
But,
Jacked up meatloaf.
was that bourbon?
Well, one time we didn't have Jack Daniels, yeah.
Oh.
We didn't plan quite right and we didn't have enough, so had to use bourbon.
Cabinet full of stuff we don't drink, so somebody come by here, they think we're alcoholics, but
Yeah, I'm surprised the thing hasn't fallen off the wall yet. We got so much liquor in there.
oh, but hey, I got my tequila in Cozumel last time.
Yep.
Hadn't had a chance to open it, but I got it. And I kept that one bottle in the freezer for 3 years. I refused to take the last shot of it because I didn't want to be without it.
Yeah, that's the one thing about that tequila is you can drink it and it does not give you a headache or.
Yeah.
Yeah, I normally can't drink tequila, but that was good.
That's one thing I've never done is, buy alcohol on the cruise and bring it back.
I used to a long time ago. I don't do it anymore.
Well, this is pretty much the only one that we buy unless our daughters ask us for it. And my boss really likes it. In fact, his sister, when she found out that he had someone to know how he managed to get it, he sent her a picture of it because I brought him back a bottle because I know he likes to drink and so does the other his assistant, one of his assistants. He's got 2 assistants and one of them drinks also. And so I got them each a bottle and they were real happy about it last time.
You got them the black, didn't you?
Well, I didn't. I got him the black this time because they didn't have any of the blue.
So they have 4 different color bottles, and it's different aging or something.
Yeah,
like that.
There's one for. I forgot what color it is, but there's one that they don't age. Where I think it's aged maybe 6 months or not even that long, but it's basically made for taking shots. And then there's another one that in a different color bottle that's aged a little bit longer, and it's actually used for mixing drinks and stuff.
That's probably the blue one because that's one I drink.
Yeah, and then
Johnny Walker.
No, Exulte or.
Oh, okay. You're talking about okay.
Yeah, it's a tequila, and then they've got another one that is a black label, and it's aged in oak barrels for 2 years, and it's made for sipping.
And you can only get it in Mexico. I've been to 2 or 3 different liquor stores. I found it online, and they were like, "Oh, buy in store and pick up." I was like, "I'm not driving all the way to Mexico City for this. It's good, but it's not that good." But we have it's called Byron's Liquor or something like that in the city. And it's a huge liquor store. And they were like, "Oh, yeah, we can get anything. We can get anything." So I said that. And I'm like, "Yeah, we can't get that." Okay, well. And then we've been to Cozumel several times. And then the last time we went, it's probably in the freezer. The last time we went, I was like, "Hey, they've got it." So we bought, 6 of them. 3. Was it just 3? Yeah, I hadn't even opened mine, so I don't know where they're at. But I don't know what we did with them. Shame. I haven't had a chance to drink. I do the Fireball and the cherries, but that's it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's mine. That's the blue bottle.
No, it's.
Oh, okay.
So when y'all got off the Luminosa, when y'all did y'all's debarkation, did they make you use the app or?
Oh man, that was when we got off the Luminosa. That was the easiest thing we'd ever done.
Did we have the app on there? I know that the app was on with what's her face? Fire. That was on Jubilee. How did they do it on there? I don't remember.
That's the one where they took the luggage and we didn't even have to do nothing.
Oh, that's right. So first time we went, I saw they had a deal where they would shuttle your luggage to the airport. And when we went, they're like, yeah, we're not doing that right now. What? So we had to carry everything. But this time, when you set it outside your room at night, so we went like the day before, and they checked us in on the airlines. They printed our airline tickets, and they tagged the luggage, and they took the luggage straight from the port to the airport. So once we set it outside, we never saw it until we got back to Oklahoma City.
Oh, wow.
And we just pretty much walked off with our carry-on luggage, and
Yeah.
that was it. I don't
And
remember how they did it. They called floors, or because they tried that in Tokyo. They tried it in all the ports in Japan, and everybody, rushed it because their time was more important than anybody else's. So
yeah, they called it by floors. They didn't do any kind of an app.
Yeah, we
which
did.
that was interesting because they did the app before, and we thought that's what they were going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it on the Miracle, and that worked out pretty well. I mean, I thought it cut down on the confusion and all of that, the bum rushing, the gangway.
Yeah. See, and I thought with 6,000 people, I thought it worked really good on the Jubilee.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised. I went back to the Heroes Lounge, after I just, grabbed my. Well, actually, I can't remember if I did the. Oh, that's right. I had them carry my luggage down, and so I just got up early, went ate breakfast, went to the Heroes Lounge, and got the little notification saying, "Hey, come on down to the gangway," and it was like real smooth. I walked, wasn't any crowd really. I mean, the only confusion was when you got off the ship and you got down to where the luggage was at. That was a little bit of a free for all down there. I mean, people, it was just like a bunch of ants climbing over each other. I mean, there was some poor lady that worked there. She was trying to hold the crowd back for a minute, and then finally she gave up.
Wow.
I didn't blame her.
I don't know what everybody's rush is to get home. Because when you get home, you have to get back to life and work, and I'm just like,
well,
we don't be off the ship until 10. So
a lot of people trying to get to work. They ran out of PTO time, and they got to be back as soon as possible. They can't afford to miss a day.
Pushing it.
It's just like some people, come down this day of. They worked until the the night before the cruise, and that morning they have to get up, catch the first thing smoking to get to wherever they're going. It's like, I'd never do that. I didn't have a choice. I couldn't get off work.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome in. Together we travel.
Will, welcome in.
We've done that a few times with going to Galveston. Of course, it's only an hour and a half drive, but God, it's almost an hour to get from, Houston Hobby Airport to Galveston. So it's almost not worth it.
It's not convenient.
Yeah.
But it's closer than the other airport, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's way.
In the bush. I've never gone into that one. So.
Well, the one thing that I did notice on the Luminosa this last time was that if they called the floor for something, they were checking, and if you belonged to that floor, they sent you back.
Good. What do they do for like? Well, that's probably a Journeys cruise, so he probably didn't do it. Like for diamonds and platinums,
they had
the app.
They just had a gathering in the auditorium area.
So okay.
And you were lucky if you got. Well, did we get 2 drinks, or was I trying to get the second one? And they were like, because there were so many people that, and in both of them that And
Okay.
you're supposed to go to one or the other, but
You know how that works.
yeah. So we and they had the band play and stuff. It was good. I
Yeah.
mean, the cruise director was good, but he was very personable and everything. We enjoyed him, but like I said, I think there could have been, definitely should have been, people on there from Japan talking about, what to do and what to see, what not to. Now there was a lady on there, but she was like, I sat in about 15 minutes out of her hour, and I was just like, I'm done. I'm out of here. Couldn't do it. And it was, where to go shopping. I don't need to know where to go shopping. I need to know what to see, what to do, how to talk to people, And we went to it's not a mosque,
Shrine.
a shrine, and Tony made me feel bad because there's a little archway thing. I had just, I guess, kind of bebopped through and everything, and he was saying that there was a Japanese man. There was a couple, and I guess the lady stood behind, and he went through and bowed before he went in. And I was like, oh, was I supposed to do that? I didn't know, And then I felt horrible that I disrespected their culture, and then, so.
And that's one of the reasons why I wish they would do something about, having, I understand they can't teach them the whole language in, 5 days, but they can teach you some key phrases like, thank you, hey, I don't understand, or something like that. And at the same time, why not go over some of the culture or rituals and stuff like that? Hey, if you see this, don't do that because this actually disrespects their culture.
Yeah.
And
at one of the shrines, they had a thing out front, and it actually showed in both English, was it English and Japanese, how to pray as you went into the shrine. I was like, well, that's really cool. But like I said, it would have been nice to have had that beforehand so you knew what to expect and what to do. And that they could have done better on that.
Well, I just think too, it would kind of help our relations with them when they see the ship coming in. At least we're trying to make an effort.
Right.
Yeah.
It may not be much of an effort, but at the same time, you can't expect everybody to know the language. But simple things like thank you, good morning, good afternoon, hi. Just something.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to talk to somebody. Well, there was a couple of people, and I ended up on the was it Google Translate?
Mm-hmm.
I would say, and then it would translate it into Japanese, and I'd show them my phone. And I felt bad having to do that, but I mean, at least we were trying to communicate. And just wasn't being hateful and yelling at them to tell me where stuff was. It came in very handy.
Yeah. Especially getting that taxi and getting back with that taxi.
Yeah.
We were able to. That was one of the cool things that they did do in the Japanese ports is that before you left the port, they usually gave you something in Japanese with where you needed to come back. So if you got a taxi driver and you were ready to come back and you got a taxi, you could just show the taxi driver, and it was in their language where you needed to go.
One of them, it was a package of tissues. Those little pocket-sized tissues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They come in a plastic wrap. It was that with a sticker on it. It worked. We got back. I said, do you need this back? He goes, no, it's your gift. Okay, thanks. I didn't open them. I didn't use them. But okay. But, I mean, it was good because he just showed them that. And they're like, oh, okay. So I guess it was a new terminal or something.
Yeah,
and
it was.
That's why some of them didn't know where it was.
Yeah, it was new.
But it's definitely glad we went.
Definitely.
It was him, that 50-year reunion in Okinawa, so that was special, But one of that Peace Memorial Park was really nice. We suggest that.
That's cool.
Yeah, got to see parts of the island I'd never seen before, and just being back, it was. I mean, I'd been to Naha, but it's changed so much. I couldn't.
It was like a small Tokyo. I mean, just the way you talked about it, I didn't think it was that populous and, you know, that busy.
Back then, it wasn't.
And it was like a small Tokyo. I mean, it was very, very busy. Lots of companies, businesses, or whatever. I'm not finding the word I'm looking for, but.
Oh, and if you go to is it Tokyo where they have the Godzilla building?
Yes.
So.
Yeah, because it was subways.
Yeah, in Tokyo, and Bill, if you go to Tokyo, there's supposed to be a building down there that has Godzilla on the top of it.
Okay.
And every hour he roars and blows out smoke.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They call it the Godzilla building, but it's supposed to be a big tourist attraction. We didn't get to go to it because we were lost. Had gone to the wrong part of town, and then had to take an Uber.
We were exactly
taxi.
where the map took us. I mean, we were where I thought we needed to be.
Yeah,
and true. It was probably a half a mile or so from us, but because we caught the Uber, it took us away, and we never made it back over there.
Yeah,
and I wasn't going to walk an hour and a half in the sun to get back over there. But we did get some video if you go. That was cool. Would have been cool.
Yeah.
When you come off the ship and you're in the port there, they have a map, and we were looking. We were talking to them about something, and I was like, "What is that?" And it said Godzilla, and I was like, "What is that?" And that's what it was. It was at the top of the building. It was like I don't know what's the. No, the building in New York. Oh, I'm so tired.
Skyscraper.
Yeah. So I was a little disappointed we didn't see that, but that would have been cool. You come back and say, we saw Godzilla in Tokyo.
That would be cool.
Yeah. We got to learn their subway system as well as their trams. Hadn't been on.
We were riding like the locals there after a while.
Yeah. Learned how to read their maps and know which trains and when we needed to switch over to a different line to go different places. And
Translate is your friend.
Yeah. I can imagine.
And then we did take one from where was it? To Sapporo, that mall where we went to the Disney store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even though we would have been able to go to it had we stopped at that port, but because when they changed the port, within walking distance there was a train that would take you to there. So we took a train. We took the train. Ended up taking the train there, and it was kind of cool that we didn't realize what they were telling us to do, but they had seats on the train because the same train would go would go there, and then it would come back.
Just reverse.
Yeah, just put it in reverse. And apparently the seats will reverse, which we didn't know. You can take the back of the seat, and depending on which way the train's going, you can flip it where you can move the back of the seat. So as the train's moving, you're being pushed back against the back. Somebody was trying to explain it to us, and we didn't understand what they were doing until we sat down and got buckled up. And a couple minutes later, somebody came on and moved the seat, and we were like, "Oh, that's what they were trying to tell us."
We stood up, and it was a little old man. He just laughed and like, "Yeah, that's what I meant." We're like, "Sorry." But that was cool. It was kind of a high-speed train.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't the bullet train.
No.
But man, there were so many stops. So.
And there were some people that got off on the first port in Japan and got back on the last.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They took the bullet train from like Hiroshima. Not the first. It was in Hiroshima. And they got back on in Otoro.
Okay.
So they spent, instead of, a sea day or 2 sea days or whatever, they spent that time there in Hiroshima and got to Tokyo, got hotels there and got back on. So just like they did and, getting off in Tahiti and getting back on in Fiji or whatever.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Sounds like a cool time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. Well, it's getting late here in Michigan, so I am going to get ready to get off of here.
All
I'll
right.
keep you guys playing.
All right. We will. Thanks for coming
Thanks
in.
for joining us.
All right. Take care, Mike. Take care, Lisa. Tony, take care. And I'll talk to you guys later. Everybody in the chat, talk to you later.
All right.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
See you.
Good night.
Good night. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Long time since 5 o'clock. So
Yeah.
I guess it's what, about 11 here.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's been up since 5. So, but, yeah. So we're looking forward to that next cruise, and we haven't been getting any offers. So,
well, I am, but they're Ocean View.
that's okay.
Well, yeah, but you don't have any time, so.
Well, that's true.
And we've booked the one with go to Jen, and we've got this one. So it was like, oh, this is our last cruise. And I booked the one to go with Jen for the wedding. So I was like, all right, well, at least we have something to look forward to.
Yeah. It'll be a new ship too, new cruise line and everything for us.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not bad to, try different things,
Which is what we've been wanting to do. But at the same time, it's kind of like kind of what Bill was talking about earlier. If Carnival's giving you a $100 deal here,
Yeah.
and even though we're wanting to try a different cruise line, we've got a $100 deal here or a $3,000 deal over here.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, you're going to the same ports. So,
Yeah. Well, some of them we got to go, like St. Thomas and Aruba and all that stuff we got to go to. I mean, it's been a nice run. I mean, if we
places I never thought I'd go.
Yeah.
Now we just need to do, is it Greenland?
Oh,
Have you been on the Venezia?
No, I haven't. I haven't been on any of those, coaster ships that they, brought over.
Well, one of the crew members was wearing a jacket there in Alaska that said Venezia, and Venezia. And so I was asking him. He said he thought that was the prettiest ship that Carnival has. I was like, interesting, because that's the one that has the gondola in the dining room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the real Italian flair. So if we do another Carnival, I'd like to do that, but I don't really want to go out of New York to do it. I'm kind of waiting for them to come down and hit the same ports.
Yeah, they got that new ship that sails out of Long Beach, the Firenze, or I think is the name of it, which I think is, from what everybody's been saying, it's kind of the same as like the Vista class, at least the layout anyway.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, I think if I go to Long Beach, I'd do the Panorama. I think that's still kind of my favorite ship. It's mid-size and
Yeah, that's a neat little port. That was the first time I sailed out of there when I went on the Miracle
yeah.
with that dome or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that was.
I guess from what I heard, that's where they, back in the day, that's where they used to house the Spruce Goose. The big plane that Howard Hughes built, and then I guess when he died, or after he died, they moved the plane up to Oregon, I think is what I heard. And so it's like when you go in there, they got all this stuff about the Spruce Goose in there, and it's kind of neat.
Yeah. It's a pretty area. You can get cell service with crap in there, but it was a pretty port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scenic.
Yeah, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind going on that one again. We've been on that one twice, haven't we?
Panorama, yeah. Yeah, we went on that for the 50th.
Yeah, that was a letdown.
Yeah.
That's
We
what a
met
lot
up
of
with the
people said.
Miracle. Huh?
That's what I heard from a lot of people was, the whole 50th anniversary thing.
Yeah, I paid extra money because it was supposed to be all the, retro back to the beginning of time and the things they used to do, and they didn't do any of it. They didn't have the midnight buffet. They didn't have the ice sculpting. They didn't have, they were supposed to do like the
chocolate bar and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was supposed to be different than the one they just do with the swan ice cream scoop thingy. But it's supposed to have been, big fancy that, and then the ship meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met up with a Miracle, and it was like honk, 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 honk. Like, is this it? Really? And it was supposed to have been, it started out, it's supposed to have been like 5 ships meetup. And then it was 4, and then we didn't have any, and they was like, oh, we're bringing in the Miracle. So it was just like I said, it's honk, 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 honk. Okay. We had some good music, but, I thought the ships were supposed to be close together, and you could, like communicate, maybe, whatever, wave at people on the other ship. And it was not at all.
Yeah.
And so disappointing. And my brother was always, oh, you get this, and da-da-da. Well, our first one was in 2015. I was like, well, they didn't have this. They didn't have that, Oh, well, and then next thing you know, next one we go to, well, then they didn't have something else that they had the first time. And it was just like, wow. And now it's like, so that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of leery of going on a different one and go, oh, so this is all the nice stuff you talked about,
Right.
And I get we're not paying much on Carnival. We're getting good deals, so I can't fuss too much. But, I mean, the whole thing about the 50th was to see how it was 50 years ago, and it wasn't. Well, we did I take it back. We got the baked Alaska, and that was the first time we had that out of any of the cruises. I was like, yeah.
That was good.
But that was really the only difference.
Well, that's one of the things I talked to some people about at work, is that I try to tell them that, some people will complain that Carnival nickels and dimes you to death on everything, but at the same time, their cruises are cheaper. They don't include a lot of stuff in the price. For example, the drink package, you got to pay extra for it. While in some other ones, it's automatically included. Well, what if I don't want the drink package? Because like if I go diving, I won't drink the day before.
Right.
It's just a habit that, so there's a whole 2 days that I'm not going to drink. And like on this next one, I've got three ports that I'm diving in. So there's 1, 3, 4, at least 4 days that I wouldn't be drinking. So why would I want to buy the drink package? So I'd rather pay for it separate. If I want it, I want it,
Right.
Yeah. And, I can't get it because you're not getting it. And so it's just kind of like, and I get, because people are going to cheat the system and only get one. And evening, Will G, how's it going?
Hey, Will G, thanks for coming in.
So, I mean, I understand that side of it, but, a lot of people say, well, why don't they do like a smaller package? And I'd be good for that. I mean, even when we had it, I tried to hit the 15 and I couldn't. But I will say, I was talking to somebody at work the other day. I said, well, the thing about it, I said, I always wanted to try a margarita or a martini. I was like, oh, I always see them. Oh, martini. Everybody's like, oh, martini. I was like, okay, so I got a martini. I took one sip and I was like, oh, that's gross. And I slid it over to him. And I didn't feel bad about it because I wasn't hitting my 15 anyway. So it gave me the opportunity to try some things that I'd have been real upset had I paid $15 for a martini and drink, had one drink out of it and poured it out,
True.
I'm wondering why they couldn't do like a 5, 10, 15, since they limit it to 15, do like a package where you're limited to 10 or 5 or something.
Yeah.
Because they can always tag that to your card. Okay, well, you've had your 5 drinks. Sorry, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I've wondered that too. I guess, I don't know. Got to be some financial reason behind it. I'm sure they have bean counters sitting around figuring out, the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, well, it says 7 or 8 and you get your money's worth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, and obviously, if you only get half the drinks and charge half the price, so $25 for the package. Well, at 5 drinks, that's but.
Right.
I don't know a lot of people. Now he was not joking a while ago when he said, you had 11 of them by 10 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there was the leader of the Facebook group on one of the cruises, her husband. She was like, I don't know what he's going to do on the bar crawl because he already hit 11. Or just like, God.
Yeah, they started the bar crawl. I don't know. That's like 10 or 10:30 in the morning. They were going to start doing the bar crawl. And once they got everybody together, she's like, well, I don't know what he's going to do. He's already on number 11.
And I'm just like, wow. Even trying, I don't think I hit 11.
Yeah.
I think I hit 8 in a day's time. And they were, I will say they were kind of watered down too. Could you imagine if I was doing the Blue Long Islands? Of course, one of those you get 5 drinks in one, right? I mean, God.
Right.
Oh, that was.
Yeah, there was one time when there was only one cruise I think where, well, I went over my 15 on that one, and I paid the price for it. I think I slept I was in my cabin all day the next day.
Oh.
I couldn't even think about going to the MDR or the buffet or anything.
Yeah.
See, even after those two being so dry, I got up and went and got coffee, the spiked coffee the next morning. What was it, the Mexican I get with the Tito's in it or whatever? And I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm drinking it. Going, why am I drinking this?
Wilgie says we're the same though. The 2 bottles of wine is enough for my wife, so we don't get the drink package either.
Yeah, and that's I'm not a big wine drinker. We took 2 bottles on several times and left one in in the cabin for the room steward. I don't know if he got it or not, but if he was allowed to take it. But I thought, well, I can't fly with it, and I'll just leave it in here for him. I know a lot of people will leave it in the refrigerator for like the next cruise, the next one's on the ship, but I don't know if they truly leave them or not.
I'm sure they probably go through and take everything out.
No. Because I know they're like, okay, whoever's in cabin 1648, be sure and check in the refrigerator, whatever. I'd be disappointed if I was in 1648 and go, well, there ain't nothing in here. Where'd you leave me? Where is it at? But I guess I'm a cheap drunk because I buy that $8 bottle of wine, and that's pushing it.
I remember drinking Boone's Farm.
I was gonna say I walk in and go, oh, that's pretty. That's how I buy wine. Oh, that's pretty. First gun I bought. Oh, that's pretty.
Well, you can go to Costco and get some pretty good deals on wine. I mean,
well, we had when our daughter her associate's graduation, I think it was. We had a little party here, and I found one. The wine bottle looks like a pineapple. I was like, oh, that's pretty. Bought it. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Considering, I mean, I don't do reds. I don't do dry, and I don't, and they're like, oh, well, red goes with red meat and white wine goes with chicken and fish.
Right.
I don't drink red wine. And I think I was talking to somebody at work the other day. I think it's because I grew up watching I Love Lucy pull her pants legs up and walk around barefoot, squishing grapes. And that's the only thing I can think of when I see red wine.
I just don't like the taste.
Well, yeah, that too. But I mean, I just thinking somebody's toe jam in my bottle, We had somebody, we went to Adele one night, and was it tequila he was drinking, had the worm in it?
Yeah.
And he drank all of it and then ate the worm. I thought I was going to throw up just thinking about eating that. And then you think toe jam floating around in your wine. I just can't.
I don't know if they do it that way anymore or not. They might.
I don't know. Some of the YouTube stuff I see, you know, how they make cheese and you know, some other stuff. I'm just like, I'm never eating that again. Ugh.
Well, I say there's a lot of stuff. If you see how it's made, you wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't drink Pepsi either. Because he was up in Oregon and wasn't it Pepsi that they canned a rat in a Pepsi can?
Yeah, I just don't know how true that is, though.
Yeah, well, I'd much rather have Fireball. I mean, swollen. What's that? Go down. Yeah. My daughter swollen the scorpion in Aruba. Oh, swallowed the scorpion. Ah, see, I've seen those candies with them in it, and I'm like, ain't no way. No.
I'll leave that for somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody drank a whole bottle of tequila. Oh.
Hey. Then again, though, if I'm down on a whole bottle of tequila, there's no telling, you know.
Yeah, Scott did not care at all.
I probably wouldn't even be thinking about it at that point.
Oh.
Yeah, he was
me after 2 Long Islands.
He was worse than that.
Oh. Could you imagine waking up the next morning, somebody telling you swallowed a scorpion, and you think, oh, what went in has to come out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's pickle.
I'm sorry. Oh.
I wouldn't do it. I don't think I could.
That's all that, you know, these people talking about the what are they, the bugs, those things that make all the cicadas, yeah, eating those, and I'm just no. My bacon can crunch or a pig skin, but that's it.
Well, they have all those insects that are chocolate covered. That's a delicacy.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No, I'll wait until the situation gets pretty desperate for me to start eating bugs, you know.
Did it for a t-shirt. Been there, done that, got a t-shirt.
Does she still wear the t-shirt? Yeah. I had a bug on the hood on the way home, and I was not paying attention where I was driving because I was trying to figure out what kind of bug it was. Why are you still holding on? How are you still holding on? I'm doing 65, 75. Doing over the speed limit. How are you still holding on to my roof? Never did figure out what it was. And when I got here, I was so tired I didn't care. I got out and walked right past it. So I don't know if it's still on there or not. Then I thought, what am I bringing home? I may not want this at a house. Oh, she just did it a few weeks ago. Proud of her for making it, getting the t-shirt, but I could not. Absolutely could not.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I could either.
Found a black widow in the garage.
Oh no.
You know, one morning I come out and it was right there by the door too. You open the door to go in. Like, man, you know. So I had to immediately stomp that thing into oblivion.
Yeah.
You know, another thing, because we have wolf spiders here, and they're like, oh, they're good. They eat other bugs. Nope. You know what? Eat the bugs outside. Stay outside of my house. Do not come in my house. You stay outside. You live on.
Right.
But as a kid, I don't know what we called them, banana spiders. I don't know what they are, but they're the big ones that had like the black head and the yellow body with the decor, and they had those huge webs that went from one corner of your house to the other. And I would invariably walk through their web at least once a year. And the thought of a spider, those hairy little legs and those beady little eyes, I just can't. Yeah. And somebody was saying the other day, I can't do snakes. I was like, a snake is going to stay as far away from you unless you approach it. They're going to stay away from you because my dad always said they're just as scared of you as you are of them. And I'm just like,
I don't know. He looked pretty scared in that boat.
Well, yeah, that was a little different there.
Yeah, he'd built a couple of ponds and had one of them flat bottom aluminum boats. And I guess he hadn't used the boat in a while, and he had it turned over. And he decided to get in the water, and we were out there with him. Well, he turns it over, and there was a snake underneath it. And so he kills the snake, looks around, doesn't see anything wrong, gets in that little boat, and gets about halfway out in that pond. And we're sitting there watching him, and all of a sudden, man, he starts doing this funky dance. And he's sitting down, and I thought he was going to jump out in the water. Apparently, one of the snakes had curled up underneath one of the seats, and while he was out there in the middle of the pond, it dropped and started slithering around his feet.
Man.
It was I think it was a cottonmouth, wasn't it?
I was gonna say, was it that or a water moccasin?
Oh man, that's a bad situation right there.
Yeah.
They always had copperheads around there, and he always said old Indian tale, whether it was or not, or if he was just making stuff up, because he did that a lot. So if you kill a copperhead, burn it, like, because he always had a burn barrel. He said throw it in that burn barrel, and it'll put off that copper smell, and it'll deter other snakes from coming in. I don't know. I remember as a kid, my grandmother, she was out, she was visiting us, and we had a blackberry patch, and she was out there on her knees just kind of pulling the grass out of the blackberries, and I'm like 8, just goofing around in the yard. And she kind of leaned back onto her heels and said, Lisa, yeah, Granny. And I start towards her. She goes, go get me a hoe. I was like, okay. And I start off, she goes, walk. Okay. So I walk to the garage, get the hoe, bring it back out there. And she's like, stop and just hand it to me. So I leaned it where she could get the handle. And she brought it to her and used it to stand up. And then just slowly put it out in front of her and just real quick, just went, I was like, what'd you do? And she was sitting there, I guess, like eye to eye with a snake. And had I come running up with a hoe or something, it probably would have struck her. But wow. She just sat there, and I guess it's part of why I'm not really scared of snakes. You stay in your spot, I'll stay in mine. You can have the whole yard, and we're fine. But I was just really impressed. And I mean, that was, like I said, I was probably 8 years old, and I still remember that. Remember my brother making me eat rocks too, and tell me they were chocolate covered raisins.
Mm.
Yeah.
He was mean. He tried to get me to eat rabbit pellets. Said those were chocolate covered raisins, and I didn't do that. I was smart enough that it came from under the cage, so I didn't do that. They were so mean to me.
Yeah, older brothers can be.
That's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dad got him back and told him if he'd grab a hold of the electric fence with both hands at the same time, he wouldn't get shocked because electricity would just go right through him and out the other side. He got shocked twice. Told his friend to pee on the wire. It wouldn't hurt him, and he did. And it did. Also told him to lay Johnson grass on there. He says, it's not going to hurt you. The grass is a conductor or whatever. And he's like, oh, okay.
Well, my brothers did something similar to me with that. They said that the current runs in one direction, and if you lay the Johnson grass on the fence, on the wire, and grab the wire after the Johnson grass, it wouldn't hurt you. I found out that they lied.
They didn't lie. They exaggerated.
No, they lied. that was no exaggeration. That was a freaking lie. That's about the only time they got me on that fence.
Oh, well, you're fine. I've been up since 5 this morning, so I'm cross-eyed and he's blind, so we're all good. Yeah, my nephew, Jennifer's brother, he loves scorpions, and I'm just like, nope. And down there where she's at, I guess they get some in the house every once in a while. So you watch that baby and don't let her slide her foot into a shoe without shaking it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have all kinds of critters and stuff down there that we don't have to deal with so much up here. We had up in the northwest part of the state, I was out there for business one time and I was coming home. And so from Woodward, the main highway that comes down into the city, I came down, instead of going slanting this way, I came straight down, got on 40 to come across, and there were tarantulas. They're like migrating across the street, and
Wow.
I didn't really realize what they were for the first couple of miles, and so I was like trying to dodge it because I didn't really know what it was. And then once I realized what it was, I took out every one of those things that I could. He'd be like,
Man.
and then I thought, oh, those can jump. What if they're jumping in the car and then they're going to be crawling up my pants leg? You know, of course, you think about that, and then every little thing you can feel, you know, the air crawling up your pants, like whatever. You're like, ah, yeah. So,
Yeah, there was that movie in the 70s about the tarantulas that took over the town.
Mm-hmm.
Had William Shatner in it, and like the whole town was just covered in webs, and all these tarantulas were just all over the place. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Seems like I saw that.
Yeah, it's Kingdom of the Spiders or something like that.
Probably why I don't like them.
But every time I see a tarantula, I always think about that movie. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, right after graduation, we went to the lake. It was me and a friend, and we're coming back, and so we come down this little hill, and you start back up, and she's like, "Stop!" I'm like, "What?" So I slam on the brakes, and so she's rolling down. Back up, back up. So I back up, and I'm like, "What is wrong?" And she's looking out, and I go, "What are you looking at?" She goes, "Oh, there's a tarantula out here." Vroom. And then she's like, "Did you know they could jump like 6 feet?" I was like, "Don't you ever. So we lost contact shortly after that. You know, when we went our separate ways, it wasn't because of that, but I'm gonna say it was because of that, because she was trying to get a tarantula in my car, or a tarantula, and I was just like, no, because when you see those, I mean, the legs are so hairy and they're so beady, so many beady eyes. I just can't. Now, watch, I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight because I'm talking about spiders this late. But
Well, the scariest thing that I saw was that on the National Geographic Channel, they had these cobras, and they could like raise up to like, you know, the height of a man, and then they can spit the venom into your eyes and blind you. And I saw that, and I was like, man, why? Why did God need to create that?
oh,
Right.
Like, man.
Well, then you see those. What is it? Is it a spider that's like ginormous in Australia? People were talking about it this year, and they were like, "No, that's only if you go to Tasmania." And we're like, "What?" People were going to Tasmania for the beach, you know, but they're supposed to be, and it's supposedly it's fake. You know, they showed some guys that were in uniform that were in the like deserty area, and they had one. They were holding it. It was like a lobster. It was huge. And I'm like, nope. So the first time we went last year to Australia, I'm like, I'm looking all around the hotel, like, no. I don't want to run into anything like that. But I mean, I can do snakes. I'm okay with that. We had one out here in the garage. I'm like, oh, there's a snake in the garage. And he's like, what? Yeah, there's a snake. And I picked one of them up, or I didn't pick him up, but I got some tongs and grabbed it, and it was coiling around my arm, and I just took it out and dumped it outside, dumped it in the trash can. I think I did. I was okay with that, but you know, spider, big man's got to come take care of the spider. I don't care how small it is. I'll throw a shoe across the house, and there's some of them, those bigger ones. I'm like, okay, let's just burn it down.
No. Well, supposedly those wolf spiders will take care of the brown recluse.
Well, they need to get out there in the shed then, because we got some in the dresser or the sewing machine. Yeah, that's a nasty spider.
Yeah.
When it just rots everything out where it bites you.
Yeah, had that girl that was one of the people that worked for me. She was out for like 6 months because they had to amputate one of her toes and stuff because she got bit. And they ended up. I mean, she showed us a picture of one of the times they cleaned it out, and you could actually see down to the bone. It had rotted out her foot so bad, and they were trying to get it to go back to, trying to get it to heal, and she ended up having to lose one of her toes.
Man, that's horrible.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Hate to imagine. Anyway.
Yeah. So you got any cruise? I think I asked you this before. You got any cruise coming up soon?
September.
Well, my next trip is in August. That's the Thailand trip.
Oh, okay.
And
That's right.
then after that, September, got Utopia of the Seas. And then October is The Dream. And December, Jewel of the Seas. So,
Oh, nice.
and then after that, I've got one in December of 2025 on the celebration thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I got my daughters getting married in April. So
Is it gonna be in Houston or do it on the cruise ship?
no, they originally they wanted to do it down in Cozumel, but that didn't really work out, and so now they found a place up. I think it's around Tyler, close to Tyler, and so it's like a one of those barn wedding type deals.
Oh, okay.
So
Hey Z, welcome in.
hey Z,
Cool.
I'm gonna ask if it was in Tyler. It's gonna be in the Rose Garden.
I don't know. She sent me a text with the link to the place. I've been meaning to check it out because apparently they have like little cottages that you can rent, if you're going to be there for the wedding. So
That's cool.
yeah. Oh, I guess Will G was asking where the Jewel of the Seas is sailing out of, and it's going to be out of Galveston. It's the December 7th.
Oh, cool.
Early enough, you missed the out of school crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid doing cruises in the summer anymore because that's just too crazy.
Yeah, we like to go January, February, but my cousin's wife is a teacher and she can only go during the summer.
Yep.
It's supposed to be a family reunion. We had 2 other cousins that were going to join us, and one said she was going to go, and I asked about a couple of different dates, and so this one was like, well, we need to go ahead and get something decided and booked. So we picked one, and then the first cousin was like, oh, I can't go that week because of my job, and then the other one was, she just ghosted us. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. So
yeah.
We're gonna have fun with this one. So.
Yeah.
We had a maiden name is, mom's maiden name was Smith, so it's a huge family, but out of probably, 20 cousins, it's just going to be 2 of us, I guess. So. Okay.
Yeah, that cruise on the Miracle was nice. There was like hardly any kids. Not that I hate kids, but
I hate kids.
There was only like a couple that I saw. There was like one couple had a newborn, and there was another couple that had like a 2-year-old. So that's why I like those Journey cruises. That's the first one I did, and that was awesome.
Well, there was how many?
Like almost 60 kids on that 30-day, wasn't there?
Yeah, which surprised me.
Yeah.
But you really didn't really see them. And then one Alaska cruise we went on right after COVID, there was, I forgot how much, 40, I think they said 40. And I think we saw 2.
Saw 2 of them.
The entire cruise. One
of them was in there when they were talking about all the stuff. And so she got the little Build-A-Bear that they were talking about, if they called her up and gave her that. But that was on the Miracle. We never saw them at all. And then you have the ones that, take the ice cream and spread it all over the walls of the elevator and tear the carpet off of the foosball table and all that. That's what the destructive ones is the ones I have a problem with. And this last time I was just like, there was some, and I thought I got onto them. I thought it ain't my place, but we're not gonna have that because was it on the Jubilee? I can't remember now. There was a group of about 6 kids that were just really just not right. And there was 4 of them were sitting. We went to Guy's Burger or whatever it was. And we were just sitting out there talking. And hey, Clock, how's it going?
Clock, welcome in. Yeah. Long time no see.
You know, they sit down and one of them takes the cap off. You know, they're at the table next to us and takes the cap off the salt shaker and you know, just doing stupid stuff. And one of the girls, she said something, and I was like, "Yeah, I know who you are." "Oh, you do?" I said, "Yeah, I've seen you around." And then, you know, they were just talking about different things, and I said, "Well, you know, think about it. How would you feel if you were the one to get that salt shaker, you know, after?" They're like, "Oh, well, I'd just throw it away and go get some more." I said, "And that's being wasteful, you know, and there's no reason for that."
Right.
I said, "You're old enough to know better. Your parents would probably be ashamed, you know." And I was just like, whatever. And went back to, I said, "It's not my business, though. You're not my kid. My kid, you wouldn't be doing that." And then it was, I said, it's just destructive. And you can have fun. And I'm all about them having fun without tearing stuff up. And, you know, and when they do, they just need to put them off the ship. Them and their families are sorry.
Or doing stuff that makes it harder on the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one, I mean, they'd sit there and they'd throw food on the floor, and this little girl would come along and she'd clean it up and everything. She wouldn't much more get back over to the wall, and they'd throw something else, and they'd sit there and just laugh at her because she was, you know, they were making her clean up after them, and I was just.
Yeah, that's too much.
And, you know, it's just that's. I enjoy seeing kids have a good time.
Yeah.
I hate seeing them create extra work, you know. And these people, they come from nothing, and they're just trying to make a living for their family, and you know, then the kids doing that. It's sad, you know. And the parents are off having a good time and have no clue, you know. Be at dinner at 7.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they destroyed. I forgot which ship it was on, but they basically screwed up one elevator so bad they had to shut it down for cleaning.
Yeah, it was down for a while.
I want to say it was on the Thanksgiving cruise that we went on, because they were. I mean, that.
Yeah.
The kids were.
That's what it was.
Horrible.
I do not disagree, Z.
Let's see. Z.
Yeah, that's the way we were raised.
It's probably what would have happened to me, you know, if I would have done something.
Oh, I know. It would have.
I wouldn't have even thought about it because I would have known that that's what was coming. So it would never even enter into my mind to do stuff like that. So.
Yeah, we knew better to do stuff like that because we knew what was coming.
Yeah, it was your mom you had to worry about. It was my dad.
Yeah, my dad had his moments.
He never got angry.
Well, when he did, I'll have to say one thing. When my dad gave us a spanking, it was usually
very well deserved.
Well, it was not only deserved, but it was he had total control of himself. Whereas my mom, she would get so mad that her face would turn red, and then she would just, you know, I wouldn't say she was she would spank us, but it was, I don't know how to really put it. It was
uncontrollable. Yeah. Uncontrolled.
Yeah. There was a few times that I ended up with welts, but.
Say my mom would grab whatever was handy. Fly swatter, racetrack. Yeah, those real flexible racetracks that you put together with a little red thingy. Yeah. That, spoons, whatever she could find. So she didn't do it very often, but God, when she did, there ain't no telling. Dad, I could be sitting next to you, you could pull your belt off, and I would shiver because I remember so vividly that sound.
Yeah.
And it was never me, it was always my brother. Because I learned from his actions what I could get away with and what I couldn't. He didn't learn. He just kept pushing.
Well, see, yeah, Mom, she just knew that, you know, I'm going to tell your dad, you know, and that was the threat of that, you know, was enough.
Yeah.
Because then you'd sit there waiting for him to get home from work, you know, and just dreading it.
See, I never did that with the kids. I dealt with it, and I don't know. I think some of our girls' boyfriends, they were scared of Tony because of his size. You know, I mean, he's 6'3", broad shoulder, big bone guy. You're right. I'm the one that would fly off the handle super quick. I'd be the one sitting on the porch in a rocking chair with a shotgun. You're 3 minutes late. I told you to be home at 10, not 10:03. You know. So, I think the youngest one, the husband was scared of him until he saw me lose it, and then he was just like, he's not scared of Tony anymore. He's more worried about me. You don't say, Will. I mean, fine example right there.
No.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah.
Yes, where? Where's it at?
On the counter.
Z
Oh, that's
with the
right.
Fireball.
Yeah. That's some good stuff.
Mix it with Sprite. It's good.
Yeah.
They've
Get you some
got that,
maraschino cherries. Huh?
They've got that Jack Daniels version of it that I've
I
been
haven't
seeing.
tried that.
Yeah, I had some of that. It's not bad.
We heard this was cheap whiskey. That's what we were
Yeah,
told.
one of the guys that I used to work for, he found out that I liked Fireball, and he was like, "Well, you do know that's nothing more than just cheap whiskey, right?" And I was just like, "It tastes good, and that's all that matters." And he's like, "Well, you need to try, this other stuff, because it was whiskey. It was brand name whiskey with a red label, and I think it's what you mentioned." And I tried it. I actually think I like the Fireball better, but
They've got that other one that's peanut butter flavored. You seen that? Screwball, I think is the name of it.
I've heard of something like that, but I've never tried it.
Yeah, I bought a bottle of that, and it's actually pretty good, you know.
I may have to try that. Get one of the 1 ounce bottles, or
Yeah.
Did you see what I brought home the other day?
yeah.
Pineapple rum chata. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but
Yeah, we don't have any room for it in the cabinet.
well, I guess I have to drink it then, huh?
Well, there you go.
I just don't know what to mix it with. I was like, "Oh, this looks good. Let me try those."
Well, actually, I thought you bought it to pour into the pineapple slices.
I mean, we could maybe. I don't know.
I
It's
don't know
kind
if
of a
you've ever
milky
tried
substance.
putting. Do you like
Maraschino.
maraschino cherries?
I mean, they're okay. I'll eat them, you know.
Well, we buy this big container from Sam's, and we'll pour out a lot of the juice, and then we'll replace it with Fireball, and then just let them sit in the refrigerator. And then every now and then go in there and just get a scoop and
Get a bowl full of them.
and eat Fireball cherries.
Huh.
And so I thought she had bought the pineapple rum chata to pour in, because we'll also buy the jars of
Pineapple spears.
pineapple spears from Sam's. So I thought she was going to try that. I thought we were going to pour that in with the pineapple spears.
Well, it's kind of a cream stuff though, isn't it? Kind of like you'd use in coffee. So I don't know if how that would work.
Oh, kind of like Bailey's.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Oh, well.
And I have some of that too. I haven't had that since I've been working so much. But was it the chocolate Bailey's? Mix it in with your coffee.
Hey, I can have some of that tonight, since I'm not working tomorrow.
Yeah.
I do like the Baileys in the coffee. My daughter and I used to go play pool. On Mondays, I think it was. She'd want me to take her to go play pool. And the entire time I was there, I'd order coffee with Baileys in it.
I must have been working. I don't remember this.
Yeah.
Working, sleeping.
That's some good
I
stuff.
got to work in the yard tomorrow, cut the grass and pull some weeds and all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble with the HOA.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can be a pain in the butt. Fortunately, ours doesn't get onto us until the yard gets real out of hand. We've got a lawn service that comes in every other week.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's too often because sometimes our grass just doesn't grow. And it might be a month before we have to mow it.
Yeah, it's that clay, red clay, whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's not raining, it's not going to grow. So, I mean, there's no sense in them having, I've got to call and tell them, don't come out this week. It doesn't need cutting.
Yeah.
And I think the longest they've gone is like 3 weeks without having to cut it because it's just not growing. I mean, so it's mainly come in to cut we're on 1.5 acres, so they basically come in and cut the weeds.
Keep the stickers down.
Yeah.
God, we don't want those again.
Yeah. When I got back from the Miracle, I mean, because it rained a bunch, I guess, while I was gone, and the front yard looked like a jungle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm still in the same area. I just moved like maybe 15 or 20 minutes north of where I used to be. So
Can't wait to get back down there.
Yeah. I do miss Texas. I just wish there was a way to get back down there.
So are y'all flying down to Galveston or no?
Yeah, we had some credits that we needed to use from Southwest because she's real good about when we book, we may book Southwest, but she'll go in there periodically and check the price. And a lot of times she'll find where they've reduced the price, and so she'll rebook it and we get a credit for it.
Yeah. I just did that on a return flight and saved $50.
Yeah. And so we had some credits that needed to be used. So we went ahead and booked that. It didn't cost us a whole lot, but now we just got.
Now I have 2 more credits for going to Seattle next time.
Yep.
You can apparently can only use 2 credits. So per booking.
Yeah, so that definitely pays to go in and recheck your flights with Southwest.
Yeah.
It's free to change and everything. So I just go in there and so I go to the same day and I forget, it just says change booking or whatever, and click on that and go in and look, and it'll show you all the flights that are available. And we do that want to get away price. And I think last time we flew down there, it was like $12 because I had adjusted so much and then had credits and everything too, and the flights were so cheap. I like them because
You get 2 bags.
2 bags and as much stuff as I haven't learned to pack yet.
Yeah.
I will say though, I guess I've gotten better. The first one was 2 big suitcases and then like a rolling duffel bag plus 2 carry-ons and a laptop, and we're down to a big suitcase each, and that's only because he carries his dive stuff, and then the 2 carry-ons because one of them has all of his electronics or his camera and all that in it.
Yeah, there's certain things that I won't put in my checked luggage, not like my dive computers and stuff like that, and the cameras. I won't. The regulator. If I can get away with it, I wouldn't put the vest because that stuff's, the computers and stuff are $300-400 a piece. The vest is $500 on up. I just don't like the way they throw things around.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The secret, though, I guess, is we had maxed out on our luggage, and we both had a rolling cart, and I had
a rolling cart and a carry-on. You had 2 rolling carts.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, you can't have more than 1 rolling cart, or whatever." So they took. Well, no, mine was a suitcase. So they took my suitcase and checked it at the gate. Didn't charge me for it. I was like, woohoo! Because we were like, oh God, how much is this going to cost us for this carry-on that is going to have to get checked now? So.
Oh, and that's one of the other things they told us in Seattle when we got off the Luminosa, by doing that port check-in or whatever they call it, where they basically take your luggage from the ship to the airport for you and everything, that there's no weight limit.
No overcharge fee.
Yeah, no overcharge fee.
Huh.
Well, so we didn't even bother to check. She usually says, hey, does this feel like it's overweight? And I but since they told us that, she just packed it and didn't even bother we didn't worry about it. And then one of the things that I did to keep, when we got off the ship, there was a lady, we had asked one of the port stewards about the luggage, and they said, yeah, if you'll go down and talk to this lady over here, she has a list of everybody whose luggage got sent out. And so we went and asked her, and she pulled up our name. She said, yeah, you're good to go. We got these many baggage per person. I was like, okay, cool. So we knew they'd been shipped out. But I'd also bought these Apple Air tags.
Yeah.
That you can put in your luggage, and you can track it with your phone. So if it accidentally gets left at an airport somewhere, you can usually figure out where it's at. And I was able to track our luggage. I was like, yeah, here it's at the airport with us.
Yeah.
And then when we got on the plane, I was like, yeah, it shows to be,
right underneath
us. So they all made them.
As they were rolling the cart out, you could see them, watch them move.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of cool. Yeah, Jen, I don't remember what it's called. God. They didn't have it the first time we went to Seattle, but they had it this time. I don't remember. We talked about it while you were at the party. It's so you set your bags outside, like you're going to have them take them down to the terminal, and instead of stopping at the terminal, they take them straight to the airport. So we actually went to guest services, and they checked us in for our flights. Gave us our tickets, gave us the luggage tags, and we went back and the luggage tags on the luggage and set them out in the hall, and they took it straight to the airport for us. And there was no charge.
No.
Wow.
So then we could get on the shuttle bus and not have to worry about packing everything underneath and getting it back out and getting it in. It was definitely a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they charged me $100 because I was overweight. Coming back from the Alaska cruise, so
wow,
$30 to check it, and then she waited, and she's like, "Well, it's over the limit, so it's another $100." I was like, "Man,
Yikes!"
How much was it? You couldn't?
I had nothing really. I had a small, really tiny backpack and it had stuff in it. So.
Yeah.
Well, I love how they have you take it out of one suitcase and put it in another one so it's not overweight. Both suitcases are going on the plane.
Yeah, the way the airlines do all that stuff, I don't buy any of it, but and really the whole point, the whole thing that got started was the fuel prices went up way back when all that got started. Oh, well, we got to charge for luggage now, and but when prices came back down, it's not like the fees went away. So
right.
It's a money grab.
Somebody was talking about if they ever get the price of gas to go back down, how much of these food increases at the grocery store and stuff like that are going to actually come down, or are they going to stay the same because they know you're used to paying them?
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold my breath for the stuff to go down.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, Z, that's about all we fly. He did book the Fiji going to Australia this year, and I'm just like, no, Southwest. We can fly into Hawaii on Southwest and then hop on something. But
It costs more that way. A lot more. It was cheaper to fly Fiji out of South San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
San
curious how
Fran.
this EVA Airlines is going to be. That Taiwan Airlines going into Taiwan. Will be interesting how that is.
Yeah.
Well, I have to ask. I have a coworker that goes to Thailand. He's from Thailand, and he goes home. Or if he goes every year or every other year. And I saw an issue. I was like, "So how was home?" He went, "Hot." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty hot down there, but I think I'm getting in there during the rainy season. So,
Yeah.
which that's got its own challenges.
Right. I felt bad for him. He went home to visit family, and his mom had COVID, and his sister had been helping the mom. So he said, "Well, you go stay with her, and I'm going to stay at your house. Don't come over here." So he went all that way, and then didn't even get to visit with family. So
That's terrible.
yeah, he was only there. Well, with travel time, it was 2 weeks, but so probably not well enough to be around him. So
Yeah,
he just like video chatted and stuff from across the parking lot.
That's sad.
He did say though that because he's IT,
yeah,
and he told somebody before years ago. Excuse me. He said working there gets his state retirement, and he'll move back home. He said, "I'll live like a king."
Yeah.
Because the cost of living is so cheap there.
yeah.
That's one of the things that we noticed about Japan and stuff too, was that I mean it's not a huge difference on the shirts, but like the shirts that we were paying the Harley Davidson shirts that we were paying $50 for here, and in like Alaska and all the other places, I got them in Japan for $35.
Wow.
By the time I paid for them in yen, and we got to figuring out, what when you converted yen over into the USD, it came out to like $35 USD.
Yeah.
And they were saying how much the cost of living was over there, and figured out what my retirement is right now from the BOP, and converted it over into yen. And I was like, dang, man, we could live pretty good over there, but Okinawa, you can't go there and retire. If you live there, if you come there, you have to work.
Have to be a productive member of society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and one thing that was interesting is so you went through customs on the ship. You went through customs when we got to. Did we go through it in Guam?
Yep.
And then when we went to Okinawa, we went through customs. Seems like we did it some other time. And then when we left the last port in Japan, we had to go through customs again. So they knew you were there, and they were keeping track of where kind of where you were, and then made sure you left the country.
Yeah.
And then we had to go through customs again when we got to Alaska, because we were entering the U.S. again.
Yeah, we had to go through customs when we got to Brisbane. And then when we left Brisbane, when we got to Guam, we had to go through customs. Then Naha. Naha was for Japan, all of Japan. And then the last stop in Japan, we had to do the exit customs.
Oh, we did somewhere else too.
And then we had when we got to Alaska, we had to go through the U.S. customs again.
Oh, and a little tip. If you fly into Australia, do not take anything with pork products in it, even if it's factory sealed.
Huh.
Yeah, they were doing a food exchange on, they do these gift exchanges on the cruises.
Right.
They were doing a food exchange, bring something from your area, that's unique. So we have a cheese factory. It's about an hour from us. And, but the grocery store here right down the road, they had, Watanga cheese is the name of it. So they had that, and they had some that was cheddar, but it had like pieces of bacon in it.
Yeah.
Those were almost $7 a block. And I had, was it 6 people
Yeah.
that I had to buy for?
Wow.
They threw it all away. I was like, we're going to get on a ship tomorrow. I swear we're taking out I promise I won't open it. You know, they were like, nope. And how much did you say the fine was had we not claimed it?
Yeah, it was a good thing we did claim we claimed the cheese. We didn't really claim the pork. It was asking if you had any dairy products.
Yeah.
And so we claimed the cheese. She'd asked me, she goes, well, do I need to do this? And I was like, well, you know, I would, just to say, I mean, what's the worst thing I can do is tell you, no, you can't bring it in.
That's what they said.
And,
No.
And I said, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And sure enough, they started asking us about the cheese. And then the cheese wouldn't have been a problem, but it was the pork.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, no, you can't. And it's a good thing that you did claim these, because had they found them, they said with the amount that we had, it would have been over $3,000 in fines.
Should have said, oh, it's turkey bacon.
They were looking at the package and
Yeah,
so I was just like, crap. But then I guess I don't feel quite so bad because I bought some for us when we got home and he said it wasn't good. So
Yeah, it's nasty.
I guess a little relieved that I didn't give it to people, but still, that was a lot of money to be thrown away.
Yeah. Well, not only that, you know, like she said, it was supposed to be stuff that was from your area. We were getting Kit Kat, you know, the packages that we got had Kit Kats and Hershey Kisses, and we're just like, I thought it was supposed to be from your area.
We're Hershey factories in Pennsylvania, U.S. It's not from your area.
Well, they did. Maybe they
maybe they were
the Hershey Kisses were from their area, so
they bought it at their local Walmart. So,
but that's kind of why I don't like doing some of those things, but that's either here nor there.
It's just extra stuff to pack.
Well, you're on one next week, by the way.
What?
Well, it's about midnight.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at that, and plus our dog's fixing to get rowdy again. She was laying down, and now she's over here dancing around. She knows that if she does it long enough, I have to give her a treat to shut her up.
Yeah.
She doesn't need any more treats.
We should have left
Yeah,
the
that's
green
right. I
beans.
said treats. No, you don't need any more. You've had enough.
She's like, yeah, I'll take another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. She absolutely loves green beans. We probably should have had those sitting out.
Yeah.
Never seen a dog eat as many green beans as this one. She's going to turn into a green bean. Jump. There you go. There's your debut.
She's like, nope, I want to get down.
She was just trying to find that treat you're going to want to give her.
Yeah.
You say hi to Mike? Say hi.
Howdy.
You smile for him. You smile, show him your snaggles. Oh, there it is.
Oh, all right.
Gets her little lips stuck out there, and I just love when she does that.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably go ahead and get off here so I can take care of her, and plus it's getting kind of late.
I can get some
All
sleep.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
we appreciate
y'all.
and chatting.
Appreciate y'all having me on and everything.
Oh yeah,
you're welcome anytime.
Welcome anytime. We're trying to get back on Saturday regular, but it's just been,
hopefully by the end of August I'll be on a regular schedule, but that's still a ways out. But
yeah,
computer just said it was bedtime.
Yeah.
So it's hit or miss of whether or not I'm gonna. It sucks because I'm the one that makes the schedule. You'd think I could plan it a little better, but having people that I fill in when there's, when I can't get people to take a shift. That's how I got almost 70 hours this week.
Wow.
Well, Jennifer, I said you could come up, but now that you're home, but you'd be by yourself.
Yeah, ever since I got back from that cruise on the Miracle, I've just been kind of lazy when it comes to messing with YouTube. I don't know what it is. It's like, and I've still got, I don't know how much footage from Alaska to edit. I keep saying, oh, well, I'm going to, put a video out today and we'll do a live stream. And then I just never get to it.
Yeah.
And then you see Scott, and he was putting lives up every day, which is like,
Yeah.
Well, I've got one video I've been waiting to put out that my daughter's been editing. She's trying to figure out how to get I did an interview with one of the people that works on the ship. And we no sooner started the interview than a book club sat down next to us. And so there's a lot of yakking and stuff in the back, laughing and talking and stuff like that in the background. And she was going to see if there was a way she could remove that.
Yeah.
And I guess she hasn't had any luck. So I may just have to say the heck with it and put it out as is.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, it was. See, we need to finish our videos. Yeah.
Yeah, Jen said they need to work on a regular schedule also.
Yeah, that's true. But all right. Well, we do appreciate you coming in with us, and
Yeah.
like Lisa was saying, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah.
I started that chat with 5 of you. We just next time we can send it out there, and if you want to, then you'll have it. And
yeah,
probably won't be on. I don't know if we'll be on next weekend or not. I won't. Yeah. I don't know if I will. I mean, he can come live, but
yeah.
I'm real close to 3,000 hours, but I think I'm starting to losing now. It's ever since I did that promotion through YouTube, it's kind of killed my channel. But
yeah, I was close to 4,000, and then I don't know. Like I said, I came back from the miracle, and I just got lazy, and well, I didn't get laziness, but I was sick for a whole week, and then after that, it just seemed like I was behind on everything. So now I'm still over 3,000, but I'm gonna have to build back up to that 4,000 mark again.
yeah.
Jen, the only thing I can figure is that a lot of those through the promotion, all those subscribers that I got are probably fake, and so they're not helping. It's not helping my channel. There's nobody showing up to do anything. They're fake.
Yeah.
At least I think so.
I mean, they may have it to where they are, but I mean, and just, I mean, I follow lots of channels and stuff, but I just don't have time to sit and watch them. We try to run some, get it started in here and let it play or something, but actually sit and then talk about what was on your video with you, I can't. Probably couldn't do that. I've done that for some others and ran their deals, and they're like, oh, I ran your stuff, and then they start talking about what was on the video, and I was like, yeah, about that.
Yeah.
He
ran while I was asleep. Sorry.
Yeah, well, that's why I created a playlist and stuff. That way I can go into work and get on the computer and have it running in the background. But I know I can only run it so many times before it doesn't count.
Right.
Yeah, she said we didn't get the updates. And even when I searched for you a while ago, it didn't. Usually it pops up within 2 or 3 names, and it didn't. So, but you haven't really been putting stuff out either.
No. Yeah.
Since the fish video.
Right. Well, that's because my editor keeps telling me. But anyway.
She said not going live hurts your algorithm. Well, y'all just need to go live next week, whether I can do it or not. So Tony doesn't talk well to himself.
No.
And we know some people can carry on conversation with a wall. So I'm not naming any names or anything, but.
All right. Well, I'm probably gonna go ahead and sign off.
All right.
I don't know, Jen. Who? I think we both know them. Not me.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and end it on that note. No, again, thank you for coming in.
Yeah,
And thank everybody for coming in and supporting the channels. Appreciate it.
You stay 21 more minutes.
No, I ain't doing it. Because in 21 minutes, it'll be like, what if you say another 21 minutes?
Another 30, you can get another 20. All right. Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we shall hopefully see you next week or throughout the week on, if anybody does lives, we'll try to get in.
And I think it was Z back there a while ago also said Iceland or Ireland. Oh, don't make me choose, Scott. That's not fair. Yeah, I should rather Iceland or Ireland. Probably Ireland, because Iceland would be cold. It just has ice in the name.
Well, actually, I think I'd rather do Ireland.
I'd probably do Ireland for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind going to both. Well, to both of them, but if I had to choose which one, I'd pick Ireland.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you go to Scotland too? In England?
Maybe.
My bucket list is to go. Of course, the Queen's gone now, but to
England.
go to the castle, England, and see the bobbies.
Of course, if you're doing a cruise, you can do them both. I mean, pick the right itinerary.
I saw the who is it? The what is it? It started with a V. It wasn't the Virgin Cruise Line. It was a river cruise. It went through
Viking.
The Viking. Yes, it went through the Danube River. No, anyway, it hit underneath the Czech Republic.
Oh, cool.
Because it showed Prague, and I was like, hey.
That would be cool.
Danube River? Is that it?
That's on my bucket list. Is to go back to Czech Republic.
Go back?
Or go to
You've never been there?
Czechsky.
Imagine the bar hop in Ireland. Yeah.
It'd be everyday deal.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, I forget. I mean, it had several, and it popped up on Facebook, and it, just kind of like a little commercial, and it showed everywhere it hit, and it went underneath there. And I was like, yes. Oh, hey, check. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So,
yeah.
I don't remember if it was Barcelona it started in or where it was, but.
Those are pricey, though. Those river cruises.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. It's worth looking into.
You have to fly over there and then fly back, because it's not like you can.
Yeah.
That's going to be a retirement thing there, as we go over and take a cruise over and then spend a month or whatever there and then catch another one on the way back.
Something.
I'd love to see days, though.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, if you got to take pictures, send them to me. Our daughter's been to Ireland, but we've never been. Ireland, Scotland, Wales.
Yeah. France.
Angela went to France, Normandy. I don't remember where else. Kelly did Scotland, Ireland. It was through that People to People International when they were in school. But she did Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, and something else.
Yeah. Angela did Germany.
Did she just remember?
Well, I don't know. She went.
I know she
did something similar, but it was France, and she got to visit Normandy.
Normandy Beach. I think that's why she's a history teacher now. I don't remember where else she went. I know we've got a picture of her in front of the, let's say, the Eiffel Tower. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's been a few years. She's been married 10 years this year.
Wow.
God, we're getting old. Group cruise. Well, I like your thinking. We might can get Kelly on that if we're going to go to Ireland and Scotland. She wants to go back there.
No, if it's not a Disney cruise, she won't go.
I ain't getting on Disney shit. Can't drink and can't gamble.
There's no point for me.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how you build up points. And I could care if the mouse comes to the table,
I can live without that.
You don't want Cinderella to come around?
No, that's okay.
Hey, I wonder if they're ever gonna make Klinger a part of that. You know, because he is a Disney princess.
It's the very first, isn't he?
Yeah. Because forgot who it was that got bought out by Fox, but that they're somehow or another related to the Disney Corporation, which makes Klinger a Disney princess.
Well, he had all the jewelry and the pearls and the high heels way back then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't walk in those heels. I don't know how he did it.
Lots of practice.
Yeah, that's true. Never dropped his rifle, though.
No.
What do you want, Dory? Why are you being a pain?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and sign off here.
Because it's been fun. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Mike, we appreciate you sitting in with us.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah,
Good
no
to
problem.
catch up with you. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
And hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks for coming in. Good night, y'all.
Thanks for coming in, y'all.
Take care.